Today on Dr. Phil.
I am the wife of Tyler Perry.
She's never met him.
Her daughter's claim of fake Tyler Perry
He has scammed her out of a lot of money.
is conning their mom.
So you are married to Tyler Perry.
Yes, I am. Via video, he proposed to me.
So you saw him.
No, I didn't see him. I have not seen him face to face.
Whenever she's about to get on a video chat with him, it's a black screen.
The real Tyler Perry would not put you through all of this.
It's possible that he's not real, right?
He's real.
But it's possible.
He's real.
It's possible.
It is not possible that he's fake.
Let's do it.
Have a good show, everybody. Here we go.
This is a safe place to talk about hard things.
Stand by. We'll count you down.
Today's going to be a changing day in your life.
5, 4.
I am not giving up on you. Well, you know, today is a little different because I received an urgent, anonymous message requesting help for a woman named Carla who believes she's married to celebrity Tyler Perry and claims he is the father of 2 of her children, and she is the biological mother of Perry's 3-year-old son. Now, think through that for a minute. She claims that she is the biological mother of his 3-year-old son. Now, how would you miss that? She claims she talks to the industry legend almost every day via online chats and texting and has been helping him with some major issues. In fact, she claims she sent the star close to $100,000 because, for one thing, his plane needed repair, and he needed to fund some work projects. Now, you may have guessed by now that Carla has never really even met Tyler Perry, the man she claims is the love of her life. Now, both of her daughters say they have exhausted all of their options trying to get their mother to face that she is being scammed here. Take a look.
My parents got divorced 4 years ago.
My mom was very lonely. She was on a Tyler Perry fan page on Facebook. She started scrolling through it, liking everything.
This person reached out to her claiming to be Tyler Perry, and he stated that they'd known each other since they were children.
He started telling her, "You're beautiful, I love you, baby, and I'm here for you."
We've been communicating a long time. He says, "I will forever love you, baby. In everything you do, you are a lifesaver."
She's never spoken with him. She's never met him.
They've only communicated through text. Anytime he has tried to video chat her, it is a blank screen. It is black. At some point, Tyler Perry asked my mother to marry him and that they have an actual legal document stating that they are married. But she has never seen this legal document. The real Tyler Perry has a 2-year-old child, and this fake Tyler Perry has convinced my mother that she is the biological mother of the real Tyler Perry's son. She has not given an explanation as to how that could have possibly happened.
The situation has gone so far to make my mother believe that one of her children, being me, is the offspring of Tyler Perry. That's outlandish because I know who my father is. It's just ridiculous.
He really has been able to really get to her head and to make her think that she's gonna have this great dream life one day.
Now, both Courtney and Kelly agree that their mother's life is going downhill fast ever since she fell head over heels for her online love. Take a look.
Ever since this Tyler Perry has come into my mother's life, he basically has ruined her life completely. This Tyler Perry asked my mother on multiple occasions to send him money so he can have it for charity. She sent him money approximately 50 times.
$500 here, $1,000 there, $2,000 there.
For a total amount of $100,000.
They would all be through either MoneyGram or Western Union.
He wanted her to send some money to an African address, and that just told us something right there that, you know, this guy has to be someone in another foreign country. Since this relationship has begun, she has lost her job.
She sold her house assuming that Tyler Perry was going to have this luxurious lifestyle waiting for her, this mansion, money out the wazoo.
She has been living off of her 401k to support herself.
My mom is almost on her last dime.
Because this Tyler Perry has put her in this position, she has lost the custody of her 2 youngest children, my brother and sister, ages 12 and 17. It has torn the family apart. Me and my siblings have all tried to convince my mother that this Tyler Perry is not real.
No matter what we say, she won't believe that she's being scammed. She believes everything that comes out of his mouth. It's Tyler Perry and her against the world.
Okay, I'm glad to meet you guys, and I wish it had been a little sooner, but I'm glad it's now instead of later. How is this happening? I mean, you know your mother. I mean, she's an intelligent woman. She's worked for Homeland Security for 24 years. This is a bright, discerning, intelligent, sophisticated woman.
Yes.
So how do you explain this to yourselves?
Well, I will say that it has happened in the time of her vulnerability from divorce with our father. So I would say that tipped her off the edge, and she has really been in a vulnerable state. She has felt lonely, and she has been hurt by all of these situations.
Right.
And
Now, when was the divorce versus when she started communicating with this individual?
so I would say the divorce, they got separated probably like 2013, 2014. And so they started communicating a few months after that. So I would say like late 2014, early 2015.
So she really was vulnerable at that time,
Yes.
kind of on the rebound, empty,
Yes.
looking for validation, perhaps in some way.
Right, and that's what this person saw her at her vulnerability state and took advantage of her in every way.
And she won't listen to you.
No matter what we do, she will not listen, understand at all that this person is scamming her.
This is happening on Facebook to begin with.
Yes.
And everybody knows if you're at all on Facebook, a blue check shows that the profile is authentic. It's this blue check right here means that this has been verified and is authentic. They know that it's Tyler Perry. And over here, there is no blue check. And then when you go look at the people's friends on here, when you start checking on them, they're not real people. They're like empty accounts. They don't have any friends. They don't have any background. There's nothing behind them. It's all made up. And we have to fight this stuff. I've had as many as 19 fake Dr. Phil profiles up. Right now there are 5 as of this morning. They'll be gone by the end of the day, and then they'll pop back up tomorrow. People just put up these fake profiles. They put them up for Robin all the time and scam people. And so that's what she got onto. They hijack his picture. They put it up there. And so she thinks that that's the real guy because it's his real picture, right?
And we've reported like these pages like number of times, but like you said, they pop back up the next day or the next week and they just keep coming back.
There's other suspicious behavior that you've pointed out to her. According to the daughters, well, there's this unverified Facebook page. He speaks in broken English.
Yes.
He won't meet.
Not at all.
He's asking for money.
Yes.
He claims that the new child that he has, who's 3, is Carla's via a surrogate.
Yes.
Meaning that her eggs have been harvested, implanted in a surrogate,
Right.
and then born. And her explanation for that is, I really don't know how that happened, but I
Right.
believe it did.
Right. Everything that's on the list, we have went through, of course, the unverified Facebook page. We have told her and showed her through the text message between them that, as you can see, there's broken English and won't meet. So whenever she says that she's about to get on a phone call with him or a video chat with him, he says, okay, I'm ready. And whenever they get on there, it's a black screen. He will not say anything one time. She tries to talk to him, hello, I'm here. He won't reply. And as far as the money, yes, there's numerous stories of her sending money to him because he says that it's going to different charities, it's going to his mother's implant, and it's going to all these things to help someone. And with my mom being a loving person, she does it because she thinks it's actually going to help people when it's not.
Yeah. And you're actually supposedly his child.
Yeah. I mean, hitting on that and going back to the surrogacy as well, I mean, y'all laugh like it's funny, but when it comes to us having to do this, having my mom buy a Christmas gift for a child that she thinks is hers and thinking that she's going to see that child because this person is telling her that they're going to come visit us, and then having my little brother look at her saying that she has another child, another son, and he's her only son, and having him, a 12-year-old, having to deal with this, it's just not funny, and it's something serious to just look at our mom, and she believes this completely. That's why we're here, to bring this all out and to let her know that this is not real, and this needs to just come out of the closet.
In fairness to the audience, by the way, some of it sounds so outrageous that you have to. It stretches your mind. Everybody understands this is very serious, and we don't want her to go broke. We don't want her to be brokenhearted. We've got to get this through to her. One of the things he wanted was money to fix a jet.
I was there when this person asked her, I need $500 to fix my maintenance issues on my jet in order to come out and see you.
And later, you are married to Tyler Perry.
Yes, I am.
You've never met him face to face.
Right. My family have been thinking that I've been in a relationship with an imaginary individual.
Okay, well, understand, I'm on a mission here. We have got to convince her, put a body check on her, because he has scammed her out of a lot of money. She still has some money that he can scam her out of. We're in this together. It's the Three Musketeers here.
Right.
We're going to get her stopped, and it's not going to be fun for her to hear the truth. But I'd rather her hear the truth now than get completely bankrupted and then hear the truth.
Right.
And so that's what we've got to do. And I take no pleasure in telling someone something that is going to hurt them, but again, we don't want her to go broke and then find out the truth, and she's going to find out the truth. And these inconsistencies about Tyler and Carla's children together, according to Tyler, he has 3 children with Carla. He told Carla Kelly and her youngest are his bio kids. He said Perry's youngest son from harvested eggs. Now, according to research, Carla doesn't remember the painful process. The egg harvesting takes like 60 hours. I mean, there's a lot that goes into this. So the conclusion, I mean, Tyler's just not Tyler Perry. He's asking for money. Tyler Perry wouldn't be asking your mom for money. And I'm in a little bit different situation here. Because in this situation, Tyler Perry's actually a very good friend of mine. He's a really good friend of mine. And I know him. We've known each other for years. And I mean, I can tell her for absolute certain during some of the times that she mentions in here, he and I have been together. We've been talking to each other. For example, one of the things he wanted was money to fix one of his jets. He needed $500 to fix a jet.
I was actually in that situation. I was there when when this person asked her, and that's at the point where she wanted me to talk to him, through text, and I had the phone texting. And of course, like, if he's supposed to be my father, the first thing he asked me whenever I was texting him, send me a picture of you so that I know it's real. I sent like an old picture from years ago. And then he's like, oh, okay, hi, sweet face girl, or something like that. I need $500 to fix my maintenance issues on my jet in order to come out and see you. And then I immediately asked him, well, if you make like about $1 million and something a year, then how come you can't use your own money? And then this person just shut down, didn't say anything after that.
Well, he didn't make $1 million a year.
Yeah.
He makes a lot more than that.
Yeah.
And I can tell you, he and I we talk a lot about jet airplanes, and I can painfully tell you you can't turn a screw on a jet for less than $5,000.
Right.
I mean, you got to have an FAA inspection. It's got to be signed. Seriously, you can't
Right.
change a light bulb on a landing gear for less than $5,000. You can't change a light bulb. And so $500 to fix a jet. I mean, honestly, you can't get anybody to walk up the stairs for $500. This
Right.
is just, I mean, it's just absurd. Tyler's been very blessed financially, and he gives away money. He doesn't ask for money.
Right.
It's just absurd. I know him very personally. We've done movies together. We've done, I mean, he lives near me. We
Right.
hang out. It's, I would know if he had someone in his life. Just, I could tell you personally, it's just absolutely not real. Coming up, we'll meet the woman who thinks she's Mrs. Tyler Perry and hear why she loves her new husband unconditionally. We'll talk to her next.
It makes me ecstatic just knowing that I am the wife of Tyler Perry. I believe that Tyler Perry is raising my 2-year-old biological son because he had indicated to me that I am the mother. The blood that runs through that child's veins is mine. My love for Tyler Perry is sincere. It's real.
And later,
I was told that he is my son.
your eggs were planted in a surrogate.
I didn't believe it myself at first.
How did they get your eggs?
I don't know.
Well, if you don't know, who does know?
Tyler knows.
Fake Tyler Perry has been scamming my mom, has been driving a wedge between my sister and I and my mother. I have seen text messages between this Tyler Perry stating that he will leave her if she does not send him the money. He talks rude to her all the time, curses to her all the time, does not show any real love towards her. I need my mother to wake up from this situation and realize that this guy is scamming her.
Carla says Tyler Perry has been a godsend for her since her divorce, despite her daughter's adamant stance that Tyler is not the celebrity, but is instead some scammer. Now, Carla has been married to Tyler for over 2 years, but the couple still has not come face to face. Take a look.
I met Tyler Perry through his official Facebook account. Tyler was a complete gentleman with me. It made me feel awesome. I was intrigued by not only his intelligence, his talent, and his old-fashioned classic ways. He's written poems. He did tell me that he loved me, and I told him that I loved him. We instantly connected. Our primary way of communicating was email, hangouts, text messaging. I didn't talk to him on the phone. I tried on many occasions to get him to meet me face to face, and for some reason, he always came up with some reason not to. You have to understand, he is a brilliant, mind-boggling mastermind, very talented, and so you can expect outside of the norm with him. Approximately 2 years ago, he asked me to marry him. I told him yes. It makes me ecstatic just knowing that I am the wife of Tyler Perry. I believe that Tyler Perry is raising my 2-year-old biological son because he had indicated to me that I am the mother. I don't know how that would be possible. I didn't donate any eggs to a clinic. The blood that runs through that child's veins is mine. Tyler has asked me to donate to his charities, to our projects, for us and our future. Tyler would give me the information on where to send the donation. He said, don't worry about it, because when we get back together, you're going to have that and much more. So it didn't matter, because he was going to give it back. I am not doing well financially right now. I don't care about getting the money. I care about us being together and living as a family. I work for the Department of Homeland Security. I've been trained on money laundering. I know a scam when I see it. Do I believe I'm being scammed? No, I don't believe I'm being scammed. My love for Tyler Perry is sincere. It's real. And I mean that.
Well, hello.
Hi, how are you?
I'm all right. It's good to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
So, you are married to Tyler Perry.
Yes, I am.
And for how long?
Approximately 2 years.
2 years. Now, you all met on Facebook, right?
Well, actually, Tyler's picture from his official Facebook account started appearing all over my screen. Every time I would go on, it would appear as though he was trying to get my attention, and so.
But you were married at the time.
I was married at that time.
Yeah,
so
you
nothing
weren't.
really happened at that time. He sat back a little bit and watched for some time as I was going through my divorce.
Now, he proposed to you on...
Via video, he proposed to me.
On video?
Through an app.
So you saw him?
No, I didn't see him. I don't know if a lot of people know the phrase, we walk by faith, not by sight. And so we were walking only by faith. I have not seen him face to face.
I have the proposal, actually, you shared with us. Tyler, now, I want to propose to you now. Am right here, I want to propose to you now. Close your eyes. Will you marry me? You remember that?
I remember like yesterday at 3-something in the morning.
Did you close your eyes?
Yeah, yes, I did at the time.
Well, how could you read it if you closed your eyes? You had to read it and then close your eyes, right?
He only wanted me to close my eyes for a moment. I closed my eyes for a moment, and then he sent the last one. He asked me to marry him.
Right. And were you surprised?
No, I wasn't surprised. He was really into me. Our conversation,
Okay, and then there's text from Tyler to his wife. He says, Carla, you say, wife? And he says, yes, you, my heart. And you say, name, say my name, say my name. And he says, Carla Perry. And you say, who is Carla Perry? And he says, my lovely, beautiful, and gorgeous. You say, my lovely, beautiful, and gorgeous what? And he says, wife. You guys were kind of playing around.
Well, I mean, yeah, we play around all the time. I mean, Tyler is a different person when he's with me. I mean, what you see in public is one individual, and him and I have a special relationship. I understand him very well.
He invited you to Thanksgiving.
We weren't able to go.
Well, you never got the address. And you went to his Atlanta house.
The security guard didn't open the gate because my sister came with me.
We don't have to do the math month-wise, but it's been 2.5 or 3 years that you've been married.
Yes, sir. I've never been one to obsess over any celebrity. I'm not one to just haphazardly just make anything up for any type of attention. I don't even like attention. I'm a very private person. I'm here because I want my God-sent blessing. Tyler, which I have been hoping that he would be here to put my daughter's mind at ease because my family have been thinking that I've been in a relationship with an imaginary individual.
Well, in fairness to them, you've never met him face to face.
Right, so I understand that, and so
because you went to
I
a play.
Understand their concern.
You went to a play in New Orleans, right?
I went to.
And you didn't meet there.
I've been to a lot of his plays.
But he invited you to Thanksgiving.
We were invited to Thanksgiving for one Thanksgiving, and when we went there, we weren't. We stayed at my sister's place. We weren't able to go.
We never got the address, actually.
We never did get the address.
So he invited you to Thanksgiving, but then didn't give you the address?
When we got there, there was a change of plans. But then he posted something. See, a lot of people, you have to understand, we've been walking by faith. He's let me know that he has known me longer than I ever thought that he did. I've known him a very long time. He's a little bit more connected to my family than I even knew.
Okay, but you've been to book signings in Atlanta and New York City.
Yes, I went to New York City. I went to
And did you meet
Atlanta.
him there?
No, I didn't meet him there.
He said to go to his New York condo. You didn't need a hotel. Go to the New York condo and you could just stay there.
We went there, and I was given a Park Avenue address of a possibility that where we can stay, but we ended up not staying there.
Okay, but when you went to this address, this condo, you were turned away.
They indicated that there was no person such as Tyler Perry who stayed there.
And you went to his Atlanta house.
I went to his Atlanta house with my sister. I was invited there to go come by myself, and I went there, and I came with my sister, and he told me later the reason why the security guard didn't open the gate was because my sister came with me. However, when we went up to the gate, I pressed the button and I indicated that I'm here to see Tyler, and then I heard someone talking in the background, and then the security guard said, well, just wait a minute, I'm coming up front. So when he came up front, he looked in the car and saw it was both me and my sister, and then he said, well, no, you're gonna have to make an appointment. And so we did, so that was it. But I talked to him after that, and he had a problem with me coming with my sister.
Okay, church he never showed. Hawaii he never showed.
Hawaii, as far as he wasn't supposed to show in Hawaii, I was only there with my.
He was supposed to take you to Hawaii. Remember?
Take me to
He was
Hawaii?
supposed to take you on a trip. He was supposed to do a lot of things that he said he was going to show up and do, and he never did. Like, he says a lot of things, and if this was the real Tyler Perry, for the man that he shows as himself in the media, who has values and church values and godly values, would not go through all of this, and would not put you through all of this. And we've said this before. Like, he wouldn't make you send you all of this money. He wouldn't make you think that he was coming over and over and over on multiple occasions and then not show up or have you wait or have you put this pressure on you and your family.
Well, let's take a break, and then I want you to give you a chance to respond to that. Coming up, Carla says her daughters need to understand that she needs love too after her divorce. I mean, of course, that's very understandable. But they think this person she's communicating with is not Tyler Perry. Carla, of course, is adamant that he is.
That he is.
We'll talk about that next. It's possible that he's real. It's possible that he's not.
He's real.
But it's possible.
It is not possible that he's fake. I wouldn't be here doing this. I'm not that type of person to waste my time. I love Tyler. My daughter, Courtney, and my daughter, Kelly, they don't believe that I'm in a relationship with Tyler. I think that they were mad about the divorce. If it was up to them, they would want me to get back with their dad.
Well, Courtney says she has tried over 10 times with her sister Kelly to convince her mother that Tyler is not Tyler Perry. Now, Carla, let me ask you this.
Yes, sir.
I approach all of these things when I get a notebook and I open it. It doesn't matter whether it's a custody fight or a criminal situation or a husband and wife at odds or whatever. I open this book with a completely open mind, and I go where the evidence leads me. And are y'all willing to do the same thing?
Yes.
Yes.
Or are you willing to look at it with an open mind?
Definitely.
Because it's possible that he's real, right? I mean, that's a possibility.
They don't think
It's
it's
possible in the universe that he's real. It's possible in the universe that he's not, right? I mean, anything's possible.
He's real.
But it's possible.
He's real.
It's possible.
It is not possible that he's fake. I wouldn't be here doing this. I'm not that type of person to waste my time. I love Tyler. And I want him to get in divine order. People see what they see in public.
So you're not willing to be open-minded like I am.
Okay, I'll be open-minded then. Okay, it's a possibility. A very small chance.
Your enthusiasm is underwhelming. No. But
I'm a child of God. I have every faculty going on. I have a very sound frame of mind.
Well, I don't doubt that, but emotions and the intellect are often different things.
Yes.
And let me say, you say that he's very different. Tyler Perry is a very good personal friend of mine.
I know that. That's part of the reason why I wanted you to do this, because you can bring out the truth, even if he doesn't want to appear or say anything.
And you say he's different, and
he's awesome.
And I do know him, and I have met him personally. I mean, we know each other really. I've done movies with him. I've done projects with him. Well, I did movies with Medea. He's a little different as Medea.
Okay.
But I mean, I know him really well. Robin knows him very well. Robin and Tyler are very, very dear friends.
Who's Robin?
Robin, my wife, right there. Raise your hand.
Where? Your
Raise
wife?
your hand.
Where is she? She's beautiful.
And thank you. When were we last with Tyler? Wasn't it just like 2 weeks ago at Oprah's house?
Yes, yes.
It was
Just
before the fire,
very
so it was like 3 weeks ago maybe.
Yes, yes.
At Oprah's house for
He's just so charming.
Yeah.
So then you know whether or not, already know the outcome of this.
Well, I know Tyler. I'm just, and I'm going to take you through all of this. Now, the phone number that he's talking to you on does not attach to a service provider. There's no physical address.
Which phone number?
Well, I don't want to say the number on television, but it's the number you gave us.
What number did I give you? Can you show me?
Mom, the number in your phone.
The number in your phone that you use to message with.
It's the number in your phone.
Which number in my phone have I been messaging?
There's multiple platforms you talk to him with, so it's one of those.
Because you have to understand that there's, and what name. See, my daughters have had a habit of picking up my phone and looking at it and assuming that what they see, they know exactly what they're talking about.
Well, let me say this. You have different ways of communicating with him, right?
Different ways of communicating, yes.
Well, I have his personal cell phone number, and it ain't any of the numbers that you have.
Okay, and I can accept that.
Okay, I'm just saying, you may have numbers I don't have, but I've got a number that when I ring, he picks it up every time, and it isn't any of the numbers that you have.
And I can agree with with that, because that wasn't our main. That hasn't been our main form of communication.
Okay, and the numbers that you have, these are difficult to trace. The company policy prohibits IDing the caller. They're internet-based numbers that are meant to not be traceable.
Be traced, okay.
So, and people do use those associated with scams. Coming up, Carla thinks Tyler is her godsend after her divorce because he is so romantic. Well, we'll take a look at some of his sweet nothings after the break. All of these wonderful things he's writing you are all things that scammers use to seduce women here.
That right there is probably a very small percentage of the hundreds of text messages that I've received.
Let's talk about these texts that you've gotten. And let's look at these, because you say he is eloquent. I mean, I will say that for him. Tyler, I need you to believe, because I am talking about fate here. When feelings are so powerful, it's as if some force beyond your control is guiding you to someone who can make you happy beyond your wildest dreams. Hashtag boom. This is something that he wrote to you, right?
That is something that was sent, yes.
But if you take this right here and you put it into a search, you find it comes up here on a scam website, verbatim.
I don't have an answer for that.
I mean,
You're saying that was on a scam website?
I'm saying that it's sent to you as though he wrote it, but it's verbatim on a scam website on a list of things that people send to women to seduce them.
Okay.
Okay. There's another one that was sent to you. You are the reason I stay happy in life. Let me tag you as world's greatest wife. Love you lots, my sweetheart. Please don't ever part. You are the reason why I stay happy in life. Let me tag you as world's greatest wife. Love you lots, my sweetheart. Please don't ever part.
Okay.
And it's just lifted and put here. Then you got this one. You have always guided me when I was wrong. You are the force behind my success in life. A special thanks for being a wonderful human being and a great wife. You have always guided me when I was wrong. You are the force behind my success in life. This has been up for years because they take these and use them so they don't have to create something new every time. Next, you are the inspiration behind all that I do and the source of all that is good in my life. You are the inspiration behind all that I do and the source of all that is good in my life. All of these wonderful things he's writing you are all things that scammers use to seduce women here.
Okay.
And I mean, I've got 10 more.
So you're saying that all of the text that you have that was written to me were all part of scam sites, is what you're saying?
I'm saying these were not written
by him.
Well, they weren't written by Tyler Perry. They weren't written by the person who's telling you he's Tyler Perry. They're written by different sources and put on a site where someone that is communicating can go cut and paste something and put it and send it to someone because they've proven to be effective.
Okay, I understand what you're saying. Aside from that, all of the other texts that have been sent to you that have other conversation, is that what you're determining whether or not it was the real Tyler?
No, I'm just saying if this is the man that you're describing as walking in faith and being Tyler Perry, why is he going to a site where he can pull down quotes that scammers use instead of just talking to you?
He has, I mean, that right there is probably a very small percentage of over the hundreds of text messages that I've received. But I mean, I can't dispute, if you say that that is the case, that you've checked that out, I can't dispute that.
You gave money to a cancer charity in Shelby, North Carolina, right?
I have given money.
We actually checked that address. There's nothing there. You sent money to a blank field. Well, we're out of time for today, and I have so much more to say in order to get through to Carla, hopefully. She claims there is a marriage license out there proving she is Tyler Perry's wife. Well, we'll look into that and how Carla can possibly be the mother of Tyler Perry's son. Take a look.
Next time on Dr. Phil.
I am his wife. I believe that Tyler Perry is raising my son.
How did somebody get eggs out of your body?
I don't know.
Who does know?
Tyler knows.
How can you be married and not have been together?
Is it a scam?
Carla thinks she's sending money for Tyler. Kindly know me when you make the transfer. He doesn't talk that way.
You're not talking to the real Tyler Perry.
Ooh, so you think I've been conned, that I've never had any communication with Tyler Perry?
I think you've been speaking to a Nigerian that is pretending to be him.
That's next time.
Plus, there is another man in this Tyler Perry mystery who may be the key to unraveling this whole mess. We'll reveal who he is tomorrow. You do not want to miss that. Thanks, and we'll see you then.
Today on Dr. Phil. an unwelcome house guest.
My mother has been living with me on and off for 8 years.
And 2 daughters.
My mom tried to sell me for drugs when I was an infant.
Who want her out.
I'm working on me. Go work on you in someone else's home then. I stopped maturing when I started using. How could I be a good parent? Figure it out. Ask Google. Ask Alexa.
Or if you got desperate, you could ask Dr. Phil. Let's do it.
Have a good show, everybody. Here we go.
This is a safe place to talk about hard things.
Stand by. We'll count you down.
Today is going to be a changing day in your life.
5, 4.
Get ready to take care of you. Well, it's Moocher Week, and today we have another doozy for you. A woman accused of being an ungrateful, entitled brat who refuses to move out and get a job or even buy her own food. Now, Asia wrote in because she is sick and tired of taking care of Janet, who she says she has spent over $100,000 on over the last 8 years. But here's the rub. Janet isn't Asia's spoiled teenage daughter. Jan is her 57-year-old mother. Yep, you heard me right, her mother. Asia says that while she was growing up, Janet was a neglectful, self-absorbed drug addict who put Asia and her sister Ashley in constant danger. Yet, for some reason, Asia is the one who feels guilty and just can't bring herself to kick her mother to the curb. Take a look.
My mother, Janet, acts like a mooch, is entitled, and depends on me for everything. I'm over it. My mother has been living with me on and off for 8 years. Over all the years that I've taken care of my mother, I've probably spent close to $100,000 from hotels to vacations, eating out, clothing, cell phones. My mother does nothing for herself. She sits in my house all day in her pajamas, watching TV. My mom is a recovering drug addict. My mother's drugs of choice were opiates and cocaine. For as long as I can remember, my mother was a drug addict. I had to become the mother at about 6 years old. I remember having to go in my mom's purse and take the paper food stamps in order to pay for food at the grocery store. My sister and I were constantly being uprooted. We were moving from apartment to apartment, never having any stability. My sister and I were both molested multiple times between the ages of 4 and 7. That was hard as a child. It was scary. It didn't feel like we really had a safe place. I suffered through a rough childhood, and now I'm having to parent my mother, and it makes me angry. My mother's never been a mother to me. I feel like I'm the default caretaker because my mom has nowhere to go. She relapsed on heroin. When my mom moved back in with my husband and I after rehab, she agreed that she was going to pay us $300 a month for rent, as well as watch our children and help maintain the household. When I have to get home from work and do the dishes or start a load of laundry, my mother's comment to me is, Asia, I don't mind helping you, just ask.
I don't feel like I should have to ask. I feel like if you're here and you see it, then it should just be done.
My mom is no longer doing those things that she agreed to do. I do not think it's benefiting her sobriety for her to be sitting around my house, not doing anything, not motivated. We fight constantly, every day.
You nag the kids about every little thing. It comes to a head.
My mother is driving a wedge in my marriage. My husband and I will get in arguments a few times a month, and the basis of those arguments are my mother. I can't stand to be around her anymore. If my mother, Janet, doesn't get out of my house, our relationship is over.
I don't think it is benefiting my mother's sobriety to live in our house and do nothing.
Correct.
So why is she there?
I feel like I have to help her. Nobody else will. My older sister has not stepped up to the plate, and I have this sense of guilt because she is my mother that I need to help her to ensure she's okay and not on the street.
You're keeping your mother there even though it's crippling her because it makes you feel better.
I mean, I guess to put it that way, yeah. Yeah. I don't know what else to do.
Is there any other way to put it? I mean, you just said, I feel guilty if I were to put her out. It's not in her best interest. It doesn't help her sobriety. It doesn't help her productivity. So that's not good for her. But it salves my guilt. So it's not good for her, but it makes me feel better. So hell with her. I'm just keeping her there because I feel better.
I mean, yeah, it makes me feel better, but it's still, you know, damaging my marriage and my personal life with my husband and my kids. Again, I just don't know what else to do.
Well, doesn't that make you seem awfully selfish?
Yeah.
It's hurting my marriage, it's hurting my husband, it's hurting my kids, it's hurting my mother, but it makes me feel better. So the only one benefiting from this is you.
Yeah. Yeah, if you put it that way, I guess, yeah, it does sound selfish.
Well, you keep saying if you put it that way. Is there any other way to look at this? You just had never thought of it that way.
No, I never thought of it that way. Absolutely right.
Okay, well, let's talk about what kind of roommate your mother is.
Sure.
Well, I made a list of your complaints because they were numerous and I thought very legitimate, by the way.
Yeah.
You said doesn't respect boundaries, doesn't respect the rules of the house, because every house has kind of a, you know, there's rules of the house, the way things run.
Right.
She refuses to work. She could work, right?
I believe she can work, absolutely. There's no reason not.
She won't move out. She never leaves the house.
Rarely.
Watches TV all day in her pajamas. She's nearly doubled the electric bill. Was she an arc welder or something? What's she doing?
My husband and I work full time and we're out of the house most of the day, but with her being home all day.
She's just running everything.
It's running,
Okay.
being ran when it wouldn't have been.
She tries to parent your children.
Yes. Yes.
You say she stomps and grunts around the house, and part of that was what Andrew
That's
said.
my husband's big gripe,
Yeah.
yes.
She complains when asked to babysit.
Absolutely.
Because she's busy? What?
I don't know.
Like, well, I'll fit that in.
Yeah.
She calls nonstop complaining when she does babysit.
Yes.
Like she's with the kids, so she'll call you
She'll
wherever
call me at
you
work
are?
or wherever I'm at to say one of the kids are acting up or they're not listening or she's frustrated.
Wow. She's actually mean to the kids.
Sometimes, yes.
She expects you to chauffeur her everywhere, be driven everywhere.
Right. If she doesn't have a ride, I end up
Does she have a driver's
defaulting.
license?
No.
And she slams the cabinet doors, constantly breaking things. What's she break? Like dishes? and-
Yeah, she has. Again, that's one more major thing on my husband's side. He's real
Yeah.
big about that.
Constantly complains about how tired she is.
Yep, she's always tired.
Walks into your bedroom without knocking, and
Yes.
she's caught
She's
Andrew
naked, yes.
kind of naked. She sleeps in your bed when you're gone. Why does she get in your bed?
She has, like if we're out of town, she'll say she'll go in there, especially if she has the kids and they'll watch a movie and she'll fall asleep in there. And that's, you know, intimate.
But she's been asked not to. And she sleeps on Andrew's side, and he
she does.
objects to that.
That's again a really big pet peeve for him, yes.
Yeah. And if you go somewhere, she pouts if not invited to your friend's house.
Yeah, she'll get a little passive aggressive if we go to dinner and I tell her, hey, we'll be back, we're going to dinner. She'll say, thanks for the invite. And I'm like, well, I don't have to necessarily invite you everywhere. I'm allowed to go to dinner with my husband and my children without you tagging along. And then what I typically will do, because I feel bad, is I will bring her dinner home or something and give it to her to just pacify everything.
I don't know how you expect me to be some stellar grandmother when I didn't even know how to be a mother.
Figure it out. Pick up a book, go online, ask Google, ask Alexa.
Or if it got desperate, you could ask Dr. Phil. And later,
You can't sit and call her a complete freeloader.
What did you do when you found out she overdosed?
I called you because I didn't know what to do.
because you didn't know what to do because
You're a
your head
professional.
is in the damn sand like
Yeah,
it
my
has
head's in
been
the sand
the
because
whole time
I
you've
know how
grown
to
up.
handle a drug addict.
Figure it out.
all right, well, Janet says she rejects Asia's claim that she is somehow taking advantage of her. I mean, take a look.
I feel Asia's being way too hard on me. I do not take advantage of my daughter, Asia. I believe it's a give and take relationship. I don't think Asia would kick me out of her home because it's not in her character. Living with her is a convenience for both of us. But no matter what I do, it's never good enough for Asia. Asia doesn't completely take care of me. I do pay my rent every month, and I provide for myself. I am not a lazy person. If I do a couple loads of laundry or clean up certain areas of the house, that won't satisfy her.
I don't feel it's my responsibility to maintain your whole household.
Asia talks down to me as if she's my mom and I'm her daughter.
What did you do? You mean to tell me that you couldn't pick up the vacuum?
We constantly fight over how to parent her children. I never knew how to be a good parent, and she expects me to be a stellar grandparent. I'm taking care of Asia's children more than I expected to. It's not fair that Asia expects me to watch the children at any given time without notice. I don't feel like I get in Andy and Asia's personal space. I have only slept in Asia and Andy's bed when they have been out of town and said I could sleep in there. I believe the boundaries have been blurred a little bit in the last 10 months because we're more comfortable with each other. My main job right now is staying sober and going to meetings. I feel that my drug addiction has made Asia and Ashley the strong women that they are today. I can't change the past. I made bad decisions, but I'm finally learning who I am. I can live on my own. I believe I know how to do it. I just haven't had the opportunity to prove it.
Why are you living with your daughter and her husband?
When I came to stay with my daughter is when I came out of treatment.
Right.
This was supposed to be like a transitional thing, and I haven't found anything yet to move.
You say you don't think 10 months is a long time to have stayed with her, but you've been there a long time, right?
Yes, sir.
How long? You've been there 8 out of 10 years?
On and off. Not 8 years constantly.
If she wasn't living with us, I was still either sending her, helping her with money or helping her get her birth certificate, still involved parenting, I guess you could say, for the last, 8.5 years of my almost 10-year marriage.
Do you have a plan?
I'm not going to make excuses, but it's hard to find a place to live. I've done some steps.
But you don't research it. Like, you don't look for an apartment. Like, I do that when I have some time. I'll give her a list of apartments and be like, here, call these people. And then I have to follow up and be like, did you call them? And it's always, sometimes you call them, but usually it's, oh, I haven't gotten around to it.
I have a team here, and we really do our homework.
Absolutely.
Because we really look, you watch the show all the time.
I do.
At home in your pajamas.
Yes, I do. I
do. Okay. And I want to look at these.
Okay.
Now, this is a text in October of 2012. I think it's time that I move on. I really don't know what the next step should be. Here's one in 18, a statement to the producers. You said, I'm trying to figure out the next step in my life, but I don't know how exactly to take the next step to being truly independent. So in 5 years, you haven't figured out that next step.
In 2012, I might have had good intentions to take the next step. Did I do that? No, I relapsed and went back to using drugs, which is what I know. Since 2016, I've been sober. I've made some huge positive changes in my life.
My biggest issue is that sobriety, which I'm proud of you for being sober, and that's wonderful and great and dandy, but there's more to being sober than just not using the drugs. And with that, for me, comes being that independent piece.
You act like poor Asia, when in actuality, I do babysit your children. I don't know how you expect me to be this, just because I'm sober, I'm gonna be some stellar grandmother, when I didn't even know how to be a mother. I stopped maturing when I started using.
Okay.
How could I be a good parent?
Figure it out. That it gets old. It gets
That's always your
old.
go-to.
Pick up a book, go online, ask somebody, watch me. I don't know, figure it out. And so I'm frustrated because there are resources. It's 2018, there's resources. Ask Google, ask Alexa. I mean, somebody will tell you.
I'm working on me. I'm trying to do the best
If you
want to
work on you and that's
I don't even know who I am. I don't know what I like. I don't know what I like to do.
If you want to work on you, go work on you in someone else's home then.
Well, you could ask Google, or you could ask Alexa, or if you got desperate, you could ask Dr. Phil. I might have a thought. I don't know. Let's take a break. Asia says her sister Ashley is selfish and expects her to take care of her mother by herself. Ashley says she has no desire to take care of their mother because she certainly didn't take care of them growing up. So we'll meet Ashley after the break.
I have a very strained relationship with my mother, Janet. I am very angry with her for expecting us to do anything for her. I found out in elementary school that my mom tried to sell me for drugs when I was an infant. It's hard for me to try to take care of my mom now when she hardly took care of me and my sister growing up.
And later...
I'm not a horrible person.
I didn't say it, she did.
You don't have the problem. You're a bully and you're rude.
I can't.
My sister Ashley and I do not get along. Ashley is selfish and oblivious to anything that's around her. My sister Ashley feels that my mother should be able to live independently, but she thinks I should do all the work to get her there. I think it's about time that my sister does more for my mother. I'm over it. It's her turn. She's the older sister. If anything, she should have been doing all this, everything that I'm doing.
Well, Janet's oldest daughter, Ashley, says she hasn't seen her mother or sister in 2 years and thinks it's about time that Asia stops enabling their mother. Now, Ashley wants her mom to get a job, a place of her own, and stop mooching off of her sister. Take a look.
I have a very strained relationship with my mother, Janet, and my sister, Asia. I rarely speak to either of them. I don't think of them as a priority when they call or when they text. I constantly argue with my sister over how to best handle my mom's living situation. Asia thinks that I should take care of our mother. She's asked me to take my mom in, send money, just take care of her in general. The last time I saw my mother was 2 years ago. My mom is selfish because she cares about her drug addiction more than her children. I had a difficult childhood. I found out in elementary school that my mom tried to sell me for drugs when I was an infant. My mom put us in bad positions. She brought us around other drug addicts, and she would leave us alone with drugs accessible in the home. It's hard for me to try to take care of my mom now when she hardly took care of me and my sister growing up. I am very angry with her for expecting us to do anything for her. At this point, I refuse to help my mom again. I tried having my mom live with me for about a month and it didn't work out. She was doing drugs when I had small children in the house. She would sit around my house high. About 15 months ago, my mom overdosed on heroin. After that point, I was done. My respect for my mom went to zero. My mom living with Asia is not helping anyone. I tell her all the time that she needs to stand on her own 2 feet and be an adult. Asia's not giving my mom the push she needs to get her life together.
Well, Janet admits that she has been a drug addict since she was just 15, 16 years old, but she says she's been sober now for 15 months. No easy task when you've been in the life for all of these years, and now deserves the respect a mother and grandmother deserves. Now, her daughters say, well, that's all well and good, but it doesn't make up for a neglected and dangerous childhood.
I'm a product of rape. I don't know my father.
My mom has been on drugs my entire life.
Ashley was born addicted to cocaine.
I had to be given medication in order to wean off the drug. I believe that it stunted my growth, and I've had a lot of learning disabilities through my life also. I don't know who my father is.
I feel that my children resent me for their childhood.
I remember the smell of drugs, being in the house.
I admit I put the girls in bad situations. Having different people come to the house at all times of the day and night, having firearms around, but the drugs and money and people were always in the house.
My mom was out doing drugs or sleeping for days. It was very tough.
Because of my mom's drug use, she missed a lot of major milestones in my life.
She would miss birthdays. She would miss things at school. She missed my wedding. She didn't come to the ceremony, and then she showed up to my reception high in front of my whole family.
I know I can't continue to beat myself up about the past. If they want to carry the past with them, that's on them.
It is amazing and a miracle that Asia and I are well-adjusted and living good lives.
I vowed to not turn out like her. I didn't want to.
Well, Ashley, thanks for joining us. What do you want to say about the conversation that we've had so far?
I feel like my sister expects me to take care of my mom, and I feel like she's a really big bully about it. But we've never put my mom on the street. We've always made sure that she had somewhere to go. But I can't have her in my home.
Did you just say we?
Yes, we.
You?
Because
you have made sure. You are so oblivious. Your head is in the sand.
You are a grown woman.
Yes, sir, I am.
Why are you not living on your own? You say your main job is to be sober.
Yes, it is. I don't like being in the middle of my children fighting. I've made some horrible decisions, Dr. Phil, in my life. I can't change them. It's done.
I agree. You cannot change what has happened. You can apologize for it and you can mean it, and you say you're sober. I believe very much in the 12 steps being a part of sobriety. I looked very closely at 4 of those 12 steps as they apply to you, particularly numbers 6, 7, 8, and 9. 6 says, we were entirely ready to have God remove all these defects of character. 7, we humbly ask Him to remove our shortcomings. 8, we made a list of all persons we had harmed and became willing to make amends to them all. 9, we made direct amends to such people wherever possible, except when to do so would injure them or others. Have you done that?
No, sir, not all of it.
Have you done 8 and 9? Have you done 8 and 9 with these girls?
Absolutely not. You work these steps all the time. I'll be doing them for the rest of my life, Dr. Phil.
You said something that I don't know if she said it to the two of you, but she said, and I quote, "I think my past drug addiction has made my girls the women they are today."
That's ridiculous.
You said that as though it were a virtue.
It's not a virtue, Dr. Phil. They wanted to be anything but like me. My past and the way my children were raised made them strong, independent women.
But we could have became strong, independent women without having to deal with what we had to deal with growing up.
I agree.
Well, you also said, and the reason I'm asking if you made amends is because you said, I feel, quote, I feel they'll get over it when they want to get over it. If they want to carry the past with them, that's on them.
Absolutely.
Now, that's a hell of a long way from making amends. Next, Asia's husband, Andy, says he's ready to kick irritating, childish, freeloading mother-in-law out for good. Now, Janet says she knows Andy wants to kick her out, but Asia would never let that happen. We'll talk about that after the break.
I don't think that it's okay for my wife to be supporting my mother-in-law when my mother-in-law has never done anything for my wife. I can't see spending the rest of my life with my mother-in-law leeching off of me. I'm gonna have to give my wife an ultimatum, either me or Janet.
My mother is completely irresponsible. She's 57 years old, and you wouldn't know it. Due to my mother being so irresponsible and having no drive to get her life together, I often tell her that she needs to guilt. G-Y-L-T, get your life together. I try to help my mom. I try to find her apartments. I find her the phone numbers for the apartments. I have to constantly follow up with her to find out, hey, did you call? And more often than not, she has not called. And she doesn't call until I continue to nag her. My mom's favorite excuse is that she's overwhelmed and she's shutting down. It's called life. Everybody has to do it.
Well, Asia's husband, Andy, says he is really sick and tired of living with what he calls his freeloading mother-in-law, and after 8 years, he just says he can no longer tolerate Janet stomping around, acting like she owns the place, and breaking all agreed-upon rules. Andy says if his marriage to Asia is going to continue, she has to be willing to remove her mother from their home, because he says he's done.
My mother-in-law is ruining my life. My mother-in-law is a freeloading piece of crap. I'm ready to kick my mother-in-law, Janet, out of my house. I'm gonna have to give my wife an ultimatum, either me or Janet. It bothers me so much that me and my wife are working so hard for our family, and most of those earnings go towards Janet. My wife, Asia, wants so badly to have a relationship with her mother, she's willing to do just about anything for her. I don't think that it's okay for my wife to be supporting my mother-in-law when my mother-in-law has never done anything for my wife. Never thought that I'd be spending 8 of my 10-year marriage with my mother-in-law living with me. Janet is just an obnoxious, annoying person to live with. She constantly stomps around the house, slams doors, drawers, breaks dishes. Janet often walks around the house like she owns the place and she has no boundaries. One night she came in to say goodnight to Asia in our bedroom without knocking, and I was standing there naked. Never has there been a time that I've told Janet that it is okay to sleep in my bed while I'm gone, but she still does it and sleeps on my side of the bed. One time I came home, there was hair on my pillow, my bed was messed up. I knew that my mother-in-law Janet had been laying on my side of the bed, and it really pissed me off. Living with Janet has had a negative impact on my marriage. A couple of years ago, we almost got a divorce because of all the fighting. Asia almost chose her mother over me. I can't live like this any longer. Janet, get a life, get it together.
Well, I'm glad you're here.
Thank you, Dr. Phil.
You've been listening to everything so far, right?
Yes, sir.
And I started out talking to Asia about she's doing this for her. How do you see this?
I see it as her wanting that relationship as a daughter, as a child, wanting that mother to be there for her. And she wants that mother-daughter relationship.
And you think she's keeping her there hoping that that's going to click on?
I think so.
You think it will?
I don't know. It's gotten to a point where if she doesn't get out of my house independently and live, that we're not going to have a strained relationship or a good relationship. We're just not going to have a relationship. I'm going to be like her and just pretend that my mother doesn't exist, because that's what she does.
I don't pretend
Yes,
she
you
doesn't
do.
exist. No, I don't.
Yes, you do.
And I find it very funny how you guys sit and call her a freeloader when she pays rent. She takes care of your kids. If I had somebody take care of my kids every day, I could have a whole house,
This
a
is
whole
the
other
first
house for God's
time.
sake.
This is the first
Me
time
my
in
husband
8.5.
I only work for childcare.
This is the
Most
first
people do
time.
that. So for you to say anything is ridiculous.
This is the first time in about the 8 years on and off that she's lived with us that she has paid us rent. She pays us $300 a month.
Okay.
And $300 isn't going to cover what it costs to live.
No, and I never said
okay?
it does. I
That's
never
what
said
you
that it
just
does.
said.
I
Okay?
didn't say that $300 covers, but you can't sit and call her a complete freeloader when
You have
she's
not done anything
I
to
haven't.
even have
You
to
mean to tell me
step
that
up.
I didn't drive down to the Dells to try to get her and have her overdose in front of my children?
What did you do when you found out she overdosed?
I called you because I didn't
called
know
me
what to
because you didn't
do.
know what to do because
You're a
your head
professional.
is in the damn sand like
Yeah,
it
my
has
head's
been
in the sand
the
because
whole time
I know
you've
how to
grown up.
handle a drug addict. and-
Figure it out. It's called being resourceful. It's called Al-Anon meetings. It's called figuring it out so you can figure out how to have a
Al-Anon
relationship and
meetings,
figure it
I don't
out.
go to an Al-Anon meeting. I don't have the problem.
Let me just whatever. I can't. I cannot.
You started doing drugs in your mid-teen years, right?
Yes, sir.
When you start doing drugs, you stop developing.
Yes.
Realize that you're dealing with someone here that has arrested development. They've stopped at that 14, 15-year-old level. So when she says in 2012, in 2018, I don't know what the next step is, that's something you would expect a 14 or 15-year-old person to say in terms of planning out their life. They don't know.
Right.
That's why we're stuck. Okay, now, what do you do? Well, the worst thing you can do with anybody that has any type of deficit is require less of them than what they can do. You've got to get them up and get them moving and require the most out of them you can possibly do. And that's what you're not doing with your mother. You're letting her sit there on a couch in her pajamas all day watching television when she needs to be developing and getting out there independent and standing on her own 2 feet. And I'm going to tell you how we do that after the break.
Asia is enabling my mom by allowing her to stay in her home. My mom is very codependent. My mom just doesn't have a care in the world. My mom tells us all the time that she's afraid to live alone. My mom has the choice to be self-sufficient and independent, but she chooses not to because she knows Asia will be there for her no matter what.
You know what, people are sitting home watching TV all over the world right now, because we're on all over America and like 57 foreign countries. They're watching this saying, why do you feel so guilty when you have been so neglected and abused? They would think you'd say, screw her. And there's a paradox here. You guys could turn around and walk away and people would say, Yeah, she's getting what she deserves. But the truth is, there is a paradox, because sometimes you know how much resentment you have. You know how much anger is down there, and you feel guilty about that. You feel like a daughter should love their mother, and I have really bad feelings, so you feel guilty, and the pendulum swings the other way. So you're not going to be comfortable. You're not going to be comfortable with this concept of kicking your mother out. You would think that would be cruel, right?
I do. She don't, but I do.
You don't. You wouldn't think it would be.
I don't think.
If your mother's standing out in the rain, hungry, you would not feel good about that.
I'm not a horrible person. I would not want anything like that for my mom.
All right, then
and
let's make a plan.
For somebody to sit here and say that that's what I would want for my mother.
I didn't say it. She did, and y'all
exactly.
y'all argue all the time anyway. I grew up with 3 sisters. You're not going to shock me. All right? But here's the thing. Let's come up with a plan everybody can be excited about. Okay? Not a dream, a plan.
Sure. You can't have her telling her she's a piece of crap every day and then her gonna get up the next day and go. That's not the way life works. You can't be put down every day of your life.
How would you know what I tell her when you don't answer the phone for 2 months straight?
Okay, but I hear you on the phone and how you talk to people and how you talk to me. You came into my home and disrespected me and my family, my home. And you're a bully and you're rude.
That's fine. That's your interpretation.
Exactly,
you can
it
have
is.
that. That's fine.
Okay,
but whatever.
Maybe I'm confused. Because I thought we were here to figure out a plan for your mom's life. If we're here to work on the relationship between you two, then I'll rethink this.
No, I'm good.
So, what's to be done in this situation? Does Asia need to kick her mom out for the sake of her family? Does she just go home, put her stuff on the front porch, call a cab, or is there something more responsible to do? I think there's something more responsible to do, and I do have a plan. We'll be right back.
I was a drug addict from the age of 16. I started out with cocaine, but I've also used heroin and opiates. 15 months ago, I went to rehab. I took some heroin and I overdosed. The paramedics had to bring me back to life. I've made a lot of bad choices, and I put the drugs ahead of my children, Ashley and Asia. When my children were growing up, they were more like a burden to me. It was inconvenient to have them around because I was trying to use. Ashley and Asia resent me for their childhood. I feel like I've come a long way. I'm ready to be the mother.
Okay, Asia wrote in pleading for help to get her mother, who she thinks is not a good fit in their marriage, into a lifestyle that works for her. What she doesn't want to do is be unkind or cruel and just kick her to the curb, so she's sitting out in the rain, hungry, under a bridge. She can't live with that. Ashley can't live with that. I don't think even Andy would want to live with that. Because he would then be living with Asia, who wouldn't be happy with that. And so if Mama ain't happy, ain't nobody happy, so Andy wouldn't be happy. So, what do we do? Look, I want to put the dots really close together here. You agree that the goal here is independence, right?
Absolutely.
And you agree that you are suffering from inertia right now. You're stuck.
Yes, sir.
It's like you got a transmission, but you can't get it in gear. You're stuck. And days are turning into weeks, and weeks are turning into months, and months are turning into 8, 9, 10 years. So something's got to break this loose. Now, first off, you're not without income.
No.
You have income, and she's paying you some rent, right? So it's not like we're going from zero to something. We actually, you say she doesn't look, she doesn't check. Well, we did. We went into your hometown, and these are stock photos, but the numbers are real. We took a look and checked around, and we found out there's a room for rent in a very nice neighborhood for $375, very close to where you are. There's a room for rent for $580 here, one over here for $500, a one-bedroom, 1.5 bath apartment for $619, one here for $635, one here for $650, $695, $700. There's all kinds of places here, and there are other women that need roommates that can share these kinds of multifamily, or there can be rooms in these single-family dwellings that are wanting to rent rooms for what she's paying you right now. That problem can be solved tomorrow. I'm willing to get you a life coach, a vocational coach that will actually meet with you, sit down with you, plan this out, help you make the appointments, help you go there, teach you how to interview, go through the whole process of getting you into the workforce that will show you how to make a resume, show you how to dress for an interview, show you how to do the interview, do mock interviews with you, do the whole thing to get you into the workforce. And then you're on your own, and the first thing you know, you're looking in the mirror and say, I'm living independently, I'm living on my own. Now I can call my daughter and say, would you like to go to lunch? Would you like, I have lunch at 11:30, would you like to meet me at the mall or here or there, and we can have lunch instead of whatever. And then if you want her to babysit your kids, and she wants to and can on a given night, fine. If not, you call the girl down the street. But at that point, you're not kicked to the curb. You're not being dealt with in an unkind way. You are requiring from her everything she can do and not something she can't do. We can have her with a life coach, vocational counselor. We'll put those dots close together with a timeline and have her in the workforce in a very short period of time, living on her own in a very short period of time. Now, how does that sound to you?
Awesome.
Would you feel good about that?
Absolutely.
And you like that? How do you feel about that?
I think it's a good plan. It sounds like a really good option for her, and I think that she's capable of doing that with the assistance that you're talking about. I think that's a good.
How do you feel about that?
You nailed it, Dr. Phil.
When I described all of this, it's the first time I've really seen you smile since you got here. I think you really would like to do this, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, because then you're proud of yourself. You're doing something that you're proud of yourself, and you're not cut off from your family. You're not, none of that. Make sense?
Absolutely.
And you move her out, but there's somewhere for her to go.
Right.
And can you be at peace about that?
Absolutely.
All right. Well, I think I know when to shut up. No matter what the situation, fixing a fractured familial relationship can be difficult, but it doesn't have to be impossible. If you want to begin healing your relationship with your parent or child, first, stop judging. You can love your parent or child without loving every aspect of his or her life. Next, be honest. Tell the truth or don't say anything at all. You can be honest while retaining a boundary of respect. Next, talk about things that don't matter. Now, you heard me right. Talk about things that don't matter. If all you ever talk about in a relationship are problems, you have a problem relationship. Forgive yourself. Look, there comes a time in all of our lives when we have to leave the past in the past. Stop beating up on yourself. Nobody's perfect, but you got to give yourself a break. Hit the reset button to start over. And that's the last point. Make a fresh start. Once you've forgiven yourself and also your loved one, you can rebuild your relationship without focusing on past conflicts. And you have to ease into it. You don't expect your relationship to change overnight. You've got to give it a chance. Move forward together and do it at a pace that both of you are comfortable with. You don't have to leap tall buildings at a single bound. Just take it a step at a time And trust me, small changes add up to big differences, and time's going to go by whether you're doing something with it or not. For more information about today's episode, log on to drphil.com. We'll be discussing this on all my social platforms. You know where to find me. Scan this flow code to join the Dr. Phil Fanatics. You'll get all new exclusive content and be the first to gain access to Dr. Phil News. Also, we'll chat about episodes, and Fanatics may receive messages from me. And yes, I do go on there. That is me. It's not somebody writing for me. It's actually me. To scan with your smartphone, just open your camera, aim it at the flow code, zoom in if you need to, and then tap the banner that pops up on your screen. You don't have to push any buttons, just aim it at the code, and it does all the work for you. This will link you to exclusive content you can't get anywhere else. Plus, you can follow and subscribe to my podcast, Fill in the Blanks, where I provide critical information on some of the most important issues we're facing today. And check out Robin's podcast, I've Got a Secret with Robin McGraw, where she swaps secrets with thought leaders, innovators, and friends. Get in on the Secret Squad. Listen for free on Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen to podcasts. We'll see you tomorrow.
Today on Dr. Phil, his parents call him a mooch.
He steals your stuff, you put him in jail, then bail him out. 6 times you've bought him cars.
But is the free ride over?
He hits you and left bruises.
He threatened with a hammer and a knife.
The DA filed dismissal.
Did you sell their washer and dryer?
Yeah. They treat me like an unwanted guest.
You know why? Because you are an unwanted guest. Let's do it. Is a safe place to talk about hard things.
Stand by. We'll count you down.
Today is going to be a changing day in your life.
5, 4.
Get ready to take care of you. All this week, we've been helping family members get their moochers out of the house. Did you know that 1 in 10 Americans ages 30 to 39 live with their parents in 2023? Now, that is a 50% increase from more than a decade ago. Well, what if your adult child wanted to move back in with you? And what if they came to stay, and then they just stayed and stayed and stayed? I mean, like a bad rash, they just don't go away. And not only did they stay, but they also did nothing to help out or get on their feet. In fact, if they were so comfortable, they showed no sign of ever leaving. Well, Karen and her husband, Jim, say they have done everything in their power to keep an unwanted intruder out of their home. Well, you guessed it, it's their 31-year-old son, Kyle, who they describe as an out-of-control mooch who expects his parents to do his laundry, pick up his favorite sodas, and don't forget deodorant from the market when he runs out. From begging a judge to give them an immediate eviction notice and having a criminal trespass warning served, to even installing a burglar alarm and motion detectors in their own bedroom, Karen and Jim say they've tried everything, but so far, nothing has worked. Take a look.
Kyle blames us for everything that goes wrong in his life. He never takes responsibility for anything that he does wrong. Kyle depends on us for everything: clothing, toiletries, his haircuts. When we buy him food, then he'll complain it's not the brand he likes.
Kyle wants you walking around money, but he doesn't want to work. If you give him money, it's like driving down the highway and throw your money out the window. You're not going to see it again.
Kyle does nothing to contribute to the household. No chores, he doesn't pick up after himself, do his own laundry, doesn't clean up the bathroom after himself. Kyle's supposed to be taking care of the grass, but my husband does the lawn care. He's 73 years old, and he has a pacemaker. Since Kyle graduated from high school, we have spent hundreds of thousands of dollars due to the fact that we pay for everything.
I have bought him about 6 cars.
He claims that when he gets a job, he's going to help, but then Kyle gets a job. Kyle never pays for anything. So we have to sell the car. We want Kyle to be able to live on his own. We've tried so many attempts to get him to move out. We've tried to evict him, physically lock him out of the house, but it never helps.
As long as he has clothes in the house, the police will not allow us to evict him.
Kyle is basically a squatter. He has squatter's rights. I feel like a prisoner in my own home because whenever Kyle is at home, we can't leave.
Because if he's left alone, we won't have anything left in the house. He will steal everything we have, and he will sell it. I'm just totally fed up.
I want Kyle to get his life together, stop mooching, move out, but he's like a bad penny. You just cannot get rid of him.
Well, Karen and Jim claim when Kyle doesn't get his way, a much darker side emerges. A side they say has left them both battered and bruised. And it's left Kyle behind bars.
Kyle is verbally and physically abusive.
Kyle will get up in your face and call you a nasty name.
He'll call me a whore, a bitch. He accuses me of being a slut.
Kyle tells me, you're dead, old man. Get out so that I can get my hands on what you own. I'm tired of waiting for you to die.
These are pictures from one of his anger rampages. My arm was black and blue from here down to here.
I cannot leave my wife alone with Kyle because he beats her.
One night, Kyle had his girlfriend sleeping over, and there are no sleepovers in my house. After Kyle had her leave, Kyle got mad and he started choking me. My husband had to pull Kyle off of me.
These are pictures of me when my son beat me up. He attacked me and I hung on to him while he beat on me with his fist. And this all happened because he broke up with his girlfriend and he blamed me.
This is the hammer that Kyle used to threaten me. He took the hammer and came at me like this. And he said, please, when you're going to sleep at night, sleep with one eye open because you don't know what can happen. It was like his whole face glazed over. It was like looking into a dead person's face. I talked him down, he put the hammer away, but then he grabbed one of the knives and then came at me. The police arrived, they arrested Kyle, and he did 30 days in jail.
This is the alarm system. The doors are armed, the windows are armed, so if you move, it's gonna set it off. The reason we put this in is not to protect us from burglars, to protect me and my wife from my son.
This needs to stop before somebody gets hurt or worse.
Okay, guys, I'm puzzled. He's living with you guys.
Correct.
Always, right?
Yes, always.
So for 31 years.
Yes.
All his life.
And he doesn't just live there, he expects you to wait on him hand and foot, right?
Correct.
And pay for everything.
Of course. And you do.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, it's a good deal if you can get it, I suppose. He leaves his laundry on the floor, right?
He leaves his laundry on the floor.
For you to pick up and do.
And put away.
Not just pick up, but to
do
pick
the
it up,
laundry,
launder it, fold it,
and put
it
it away.
in its drawers and all that. You pay for clothes, haircuts, shoes, medication, TV.
Yes.
His
phone.
Everything.
His car, his gas, his food, we pay for everything.
Why?
Don't know.
Me neither.
I'm totally confused.
You and I are both lost. We don't know why you're doing this.
I give, because he's my son.
No, come on. Look, you and I are too old to, come on. He's 31.
Correct.
Since he was 16, you've purchased not one, not two, not three, not four, not five, but 6 cars.
Correct.
You don't look like slow learners. No, really, 6 times? It's like Lucy holding the football for Charlie Brown. I know, I promise. It'll be here. 6 times you've bought him cars, and 6 times he's lied to you. I'm gonna get a job, I'm gonna pay for this, I'm gonna do this. Come on.
Well, I did catch on. I just sold his car 5 months ago. When I told him, he says, as long as you have your job and you're paying for your car, I'll continue with it. He quit his job. I took his car away. I sold it because my name was on there. He was speeding, just doing absolutely crazy things with the car. So I sold the car. And I haven't given him a car. He's begging me for a car, and I will not give him another one. Hopefully.
Now, y'all lived in a house, right?
Correct.
But you moved out into an apartment.
When we moved here from Nashville, we moved to the area in Texas. And before the home was finished, We
Right.
had it being built. We lived in an apartment till it was being built.
Right, you moved into an apartment.
Correct.
Okay, but did he come to the apartment also?
Yes.
So you moved out of the apartment and into a hotel.
Yes.
So he was with you in the home, then so you say, no, we're moving. So he followed you there, then he was there, then you moved into a hotel. Did he come to the hotel?
No, we moved out of the apartment and into a hotel because at that time he was getting violent with us and we were afraid of him. So we left the apartment and left him in the apartment and went and lived in a hotel for 3 weeks.
Yeah, so you're out of your home, then into an apartment, then into a, what are you going to move next, into your car? And then I guess you'll get in the back seat. What are you going to do? At what point is enough enough and too much too much?
That's why we're here. We need your advice.
Oh, okay. Look, did you guys need to come here really to know that you need to stop doing what you're doing?
I know we need to put him out, but it's hard to put him onto the street. My son is very book smart. He's one of the smartest people you've ever met, and he's very. He can talk to you, and you'll believe anything he says. Maybe not you, but most people. But to put him on the street, he's very street stupid. If I stuck him in the middle of the street, I don't know what would happen to him in 2 days. I don't believe he'd survive.
He gets in your apartment and he sells the washer, the dryer, the refrigerator. He sells the stuff in your apartment.
That's correct.
That's theft.
Yes.
He threatened your wife with a deadly weapon.
Yes, he did.
What's your career?
I'm a retired policeman.
And later, you told your father you would move out if he would co-sign for a car.
You weren't getting on the plane unless I co-signed for a car for you. No, I have the text. I will watch you get on the plane and take my happy ass home to bed.
While we were waiting for our current home to be built, we were living in an apartment. Kyle came in crazed and just attacked my husband. So Jim and I left the apartment. We weren't gone more than 2 hours and found out that Kyle picked up a cinder block, threw it through the front window so that he could get into the apartment. We packed a suitcase and lived in a hotel for 3 weeks until the home was finished being built. While we were out, Kyle decided to sell my washer and dryer so that he would have cash to live on. When we finally were able to move into our new home, he showed up on our front doorstep at midnight ringing our doorbell. Since then, he found his way back into my house. I'm so sick and tired. Every time I try and cut that cord, he shows back up at home, so it gets a little old.
He hopes you die. He steals your stuff and sells it. He calls you names. He threatens you with a hammer. You put him in jail and then bail him out. What's your career?
I'm a retired policeman.
Did you take excuses from people that you arrested?
No. If the things that happened in my home and I was working and I was on the scene, I would be locking somebody up because the situation was too dangerous.
But when you threaten someone with a deadly weapon, that's serious, right?
Very serious.
He threatened your wife with a deadly weapon.
Yes, he did.
He gets in your apartment and you go to a hotel. He sells what, the washer, the dryer, the refrigerator. He sells the stuff in your apartment.
That's correct.
That's theft.
Yes.
We'll talk about him in a minute, but you have to help me understand what it is that's driving you to continue to do this.
I think on my part, I think it's hoping that he will learn to be productive, learn to get a job and hold the job.
And what are you doing to teach that?
Probably nothing.
Well, you're doing his laundry, you're paying his bills, you're giving him a place to live.
Yes.
Hell, I'd do that. That's a good deal. Look, common sense, this common sense here. This isn't helping him, is it?
No. When he was younger, he could go out there and live on his own. Now he can't. I don't know what happened over the years. Most people learn respect and responsibility as they get older. He seemed to have lost that.
Is it possible you've crippled him by enabling him and not requiring him to grow up?
Yes, I believe so. I believe that we I gave him too much. I always, whatever he asked for, I always gave him. Maybe because I didn't have my life when I grew up that way. So I don't want him to want.
But now he's bleeding you dry.
Definitely, very much.
And, yeah, I related this because I've got a son this age. Robin and I have raised two boys. The one on the left is the age of your son. I couldn't keep him in the house if I held a gun on him. It's not natural. You understand, at 31, it's not natural. You have a good-looking, intelligent young man for a son. He's very smart, right?
Very smart.
He went to nursing school?
Yes, he did.
And what did you do while he was in nursing school?
I sat in the parking lot to make sure he stayed in school.
Every day?
Every day.
All day?
All day, 8 hours a day, read books.
Despite Kyle's being lazy and being a mooch, he does have a nursing degree, only because his father and I rode him every step of the way.
I drove him to school every day, and I sat in the parking lot where I can see the front door and the rear door to make sure he didn't leave. I went there for 9 months. I should have got a degree myself because I was there every day.
Kyle was very good at what he did when he was a nurse, but unfortunately, he always winds up taking the wrong path and undermining himself.
I did get in a little bit of trouble with my nursing license.
Kyle's suspension was due to the fact that he got locked up for stealing drugs from one of the nursing facilities. But all those charges were dropped. But then he wound up getting a drunk driving, and he was put on suspension for not reporting the drunk driving to the nursing board and for all of the drugs. When we moved to the state of Texas, Texas wouldn't accept his nursing license because of the fact that he was on probation. Because of that, Kyle blames us, saying we should have stayed in the state of Florida until his license could be cleared again.
There's no reason for him to move. They could have waited 6 more months. If I could work as a nurse right now, the fact that they've had me arrested so many times for violence, those charges would definitely affect my license. If they didn't care then, they don't care now.
I'm so sick and tired of listening to Kyle's excuses. At this point in life, move on.
Every day, all day, you go to school and sit in a parking lot to make sure he stays in school.
That's correct.
Wow.
If he didn't go, Kyle, a couple times we allowed Kyle to drive himself. Kyle didn't go to school. So to make sure that he would go, Jim drove him.
Well, Kyle's here, by the way, and he says not only should his parents be doing more to help him get on his feet, they need to realize they are to blame for his failure to launch. We'll meet him after the break.
At home, my parents treat me like an unwanted guest. Shelter, food, and clothing is something that should be provided for a child. My mother made up a story that I was going to attack her with a hammer. I was right here, she was over there, and I was talking like this. I would never attack my mom with a hammer.
And later, why do you keep living at home?
Where am I supposed to go?
You're supposed to create a place to go. You're 31 years old.
Oh, it's okay to get off work and find out that you don't have a place to go at 1 o'clock in the morning. That's normal.
There's nothing normal about this. Now, Karen and Jim claim their 31-year-old son, Kyle, is a violent moocher who they are desperate to evict from their home. Kyle says he wants his parents to stop playing the victim and start helping him dig out of the hole they put him in. Take a look.
My parents are basically undermining my life. Instead of trying to help, they derail it or do stuff out of spite. They're not helping me get on my feet and don't care if my life falls apart. My parents take care of the basic necessities, but they want my soul back in return. They want to own me. Shelter, food, and clothing is something that should be provided for a child. Whenever my parents loan me money, they expect to be paid interest. They should let me save my money instead of constantly trying to take it. Right now, I do not have a car because while I was locked up, my father sold my vehicle. I need a car to be able to support myself, but he won't even co-sign for a car. My father is basically crippling me.
This is my bedroom. This is one of the places I'm confined to.
My parents act like I'm some sort of deranged, aggressive psychopath. At home, they treat me like an unwanted guest. They have gone through great lengths to try to get me out of the house. One time, my mother made up a story that I was going to attack her with a hammer.
I was right here, and she was over there, and I was talking like this. Me yelling and screaming, I talk with my hands. So as I was talking, I was shaking the hammer.
This situation was insane. No, I would never attack my mom with a hammer. Another time, my mother was taking me to go get blood for cash. On the way home, we got in an argument. She was calling me a worthless piece of that she should have had an abortion. The only thing that I did was hit the dashboard. I was the one being assaulted, not her. My parents have cried wolf to the cops so many times that they actually feel bad for me. All I want to be treated is like a son. I want to be treated like a member of the family, not like an outsider.
All right, Kyle, good to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
I've been talking to your parents before you got out here. Actually, I've been talking to them about you. I've been talking to them about them. You're 31, right?
Yes, sir.
Why are you living at home?
It's been throughout my life, there's been a lot of step forwards and step backs, you know, taking step backs. I had a nursing license in Florida, and yes, I was put on a probationary period for that. But at the time, they wanted to move to Tennessee. I told my parents that at the current time, I had to finish out my probation, which was like 6 months to a year left on.
How old were you?
24.
Right.
And
how is that their problem?
Well, I was living with them at the time.
But you're an adult at 24. You're an adult. What's that got to do with where they move?
Well, if your son is asking for 6 more months to stay in the state to complete out of probation, then to move, I mean, wouldn't you help your son? Or would you uproot them and say you don't know what you're talking about? Take them to Tennessee, hire a lawyer, have the lawyer tell you the same thing that your son was telling you.
Well, I wouldn't hire a lawyer. I didn't get into trouble. You got into trouble.
Yeah.
What'd you do to get into trouble?
The trouble was actually it was a multitude of things. One was failure to report a charge.
A DUI?
Arrest, yeah, an arrest. This thing called the Sunshine State Law, where you have to report any kind of arrest.
Right.
At that time, I told them I should report this arrest, and I was told that I didn't have to under the advisement of the lawyer that we're going through.
But he didn't give you the license.
Okay. And I was told...
The nursing board gave you the license.
Yes, sir, and I was told to follow his advice.
But he didn't give you the license.
Okay, but if
the nursing board gave you the license, and you accepted the license with the rules and regulations associated with the license. And they said, if you have problems with the law, you have to report it, because if you become an impaired professional, then we have the right to suspend your license.
Yes, sir.
And you didn't do that.
Yes,
I don't care what he said. Your deal was with the licensing board.
Yes, sir.
What's that got to do with him?
At the time, I was living with him and with my father.
Why?
Because of the issue that happened with I wasn't able to work as a nurse.
So when you got your license suspended for misconduct, you moved in with your parents?
Yes, I did.
Okay, so the reason you moved in with your parents is your responsibility, not theirs.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So how is anything that happened after that their responsibility? You're the one that put yourself there.
Let's take a step back. I want to first say that I understand that I am a part of this problem. I am a reason that, I helped create this situation, yes. I've never once denied that. What I'm trying to say is that with me being in this situation, they're not making it any easier for me to get out.
We talked to you for an hour and a half on the phone. And during that time, you gave us a list of reasons that they are to blame for your unsuccessful life. Not helping me get on my feet, keep doing things to make my life fall apart, just taking care of my basic needs, expect to be paid back immediately, refuse to co-sign for a car, want to charge me gas money, made it hard to go back to my career in nursing, not let me save money, demand I pay for loans and bills, sold my car while I was in jail, dad doesn't give me all my bills on time, not give me my mail, can't follow up my student loan deferment, can't go back to nursing because of them, had me arrested twice, jeopardized my nursing license, put me so far in the hole I can't get out. 26 of these things. Mm-hmm. Not one of them was, I created a problem for myself. You gave me 26 reasons that they own your problems in life.
Yes, sir.
And in your tape piece, I wrote down some things you said. You said, shelter, food, and clothing should be provided for a child.
Yes, sir.
I agree with you 100%. That's something, let's talk about what we can agree
But
on.
I'm not a child.
Of
I
course,
understand that's where you're going with that. Yeah, I do. But
a child is 6,
Yes.
7, 12, 13. You're 31.
Okay, but when your child is, no matter the age, if they hit
But
a point in their
age does
life
matter.
where they have to come home and they need help.
Buying you 6 cars, letting you live there, doing your laundry, listening to all these excuses, to me, is not helping you. You said on your tape, I also wrote this down, I took notes on your videotape. You said, they treat me like an unwanted guest. Do you know why?
Because of the past, yeah.
Because you are an unwanted guest. Are you moved out of there?
Yeah.
You don't live there.
Correct.
So you have no rights to that place.
Except the belongings that I can't get out of there.
Can he get the rest of his stuff?
Anytime he wants.
Kyle terrorizes us in our own home, so we try to keep him contained to one area of the house.
The motion detector is up here. Every open area that's in here is covered by the motion detector. You step out in any of this area, sets the alarm off immediately.
This is as far as I can go. This is the limit. Can't go past here. You'll set everything off.
Kyle likes to intimidate my wife and myself. He'll get up at 2 o'clock in the morning, he'll trip the alarm. I will come out here, and 99% of the time, that's him coming out, waving his foot out or stepping out there so that he wakes us up. It's scary. I am a hostage in my own home. He's a hostage taker.
And don't you want to live? I mean, isn't it hard to get a date? At 31, you're living with your
I am
mother.
living on my own.
I mean, but you're sort of living on your own now. You're pretending to stay somewhere else so you can get a charge dismissed, but you still have things at their house, and you still go over there and come and go as you want to, and you're still spending the night there sometimes. You're really not moved out of there, are you?
When I spent
No, answer me. Don't look at them. Answer me. Are you moved out of there?
Yeah, I actually
Okay,
am.
so that is not your residence now.
No, it's not. I have a lease signed.
Okay, so their place of residence is no longer your home.
Correct.
You don't live there.
Correct, sir.
You do not reside there.
Correct, sir.
So you have no rights to that place.
Except the belongings that I can't get out of there, yes.
What belongings would those be?
I still have some clothes there. I have my actual mattress there. I have stuff there. I have paintings. I have belongings.
Okay, so you're storing things there?
About 2 weeks ago, I messaged them asking if I can get the rest of my stuff. I never heard back from them.
Okay, well, they're here now. Can he get the rest of his stuff?
Anytime he wants.
And if,
Okay.
if he messaged me that, I never got that message.
Okay, well, you're getting it now. Do you have an inventory of those things?
There's things, yeah, that I'll probably have to sacrifice, but yeah.
No. There's no sacrifice here. You have an inventory of those things, so you can get those things and you can get them delivered.
I'll deliver them myself.
So you're moved out just since you got here, right? Because you told your father at the airport you would move out if he would co-sign for a car.
When was this at the airport?
You texted me a message that says that you weren't getting on the plane unless I co-signed for a car for you.
No.
I have
Show me that.
I have the text on my
Okay,
phone.
go ahead. I have
Okay,
text.
we'll bring the phone out. Is your phone back here? Okay, we'll bring your phone out and they can show us the
Okay.
text, because I'm all about facts.
And that's great. Did he explain to you that?
Did you send the text or not?
No, I don't remember saying that I would co-sign for a car, or that would come here. I was already on the plane coming here. I mean, the main thing is we're getting way off track on.
No, I don't think we are. I don't think we are, because I think what I'm wanting to do is I want you to be on your own, because you want to be on your own. You don't want to live with your parents.
Have we talked about in the past month, twice I've had to call 911 on my father for him hitting me? His sugar would drop low. Yesterday we were out for dinner and he's screaming and yelling because his sugar dropped, but she's afraid to talk to him. I'm afraid to ask him for how he's doing in the morning. I'm afraid to talk to him because I don't know what kind of answer I'm going to get. I don't know if I'm going to get screamed at.
Yeah. Are you diabetic?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, me too. So you have to manage that, right?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
To me, it's, with me being bipolar, it's more of an undiagnosed bipolar.
Yeah. But you're not qualified to make that diagnosis,
No, I'm
and
not.
even if you were, you would not be objective enough to do that with a family member because that would be unethical. Oh, you're going to have to read that. I'm flattered.
We'll give it to the older man to read it.
You're steadily making my life more difficult. I don't know how I'll ever get a car because it takes 6 to 9 weeks for the return to come back. He's talking about his tax return. You lose my blame me, then treat me like garbage, and expect someone to constantly forget and meet you at the restaurant. No, I'm done going into work. Bye. No, I'll do the show when my tax return hits so I can afford a car. You know, like how you left that letter sitting on your desk for so long? Sure, bye. Maybe you should treat and talk to me like I'm a human and not a piece of trash. You care so much, but the way you treat me, you say you care. And then we answer, okay, we're done, no more phone. And then he wrote back, but you do whatever you want to do. And I wrote back, shutting phone off now. Then he got into, admit you lost my sunglasses, 2 question marks. Going through checkpoint 3. You and I are going to sit and have a discussion. Where do I go? And I said, Annie's by gate 20, sitting at table, order me a Coke. I wrote back, when you get here. And then he wrote, and by the time Dr. Phil is about to air, before I go on, we will have a plan for me getting a car when I get back. He helped max this mess with my taxes. You helped get me out. If that's a problem, you let me know because I can turn around. All these places to eat, and that's where you go. Of course you do. I'm not going on. You have fun going home. I'll tell you I'm hungry, so go where they don't serve but chips and pre-made sandwiches. I will watch you get on the plane and take my happy ass home to bed. Okay, I'm leaving with a driver, and this is when we arrived here.
You can't make this up.
Over the place.
You know, everybody creates their own normal, and this has become y'all's normal. Kyle insists he's not a danger to his parents, and they need to stop crying wolf. So if that's true, where did the bruises on their bodies come from? We're going to go to break, and when you get back, I'll have my happy ass right here.
Kyle's outbursts are so out of control that I wound up having to take Jim to the hospital.
He started yelling and screaming at me in the bed. Kyle started a fight with my wife. She ended up having a heart attack.
We had to call security and have Kyle banned from the hospital.
From filing a restraining order to having him arrested for criminal trespassing, parents Karen and Jim say nothing will stop their adult son Kyle from living in their home and abusing them. Now, Kyle claims his parents are far from perfect, and they need to own their own violent ways. Take a look at this.
My parents are very fake. They try to portray them as being the perfect parents and me as this uncontrollable child. It's not like that at all. They'll egg things on. I'm not yelling at them out of nowhere. It's a response to something they did.
Kyle's outbursts are so out of control that he has no control over what happens.
Kyle come home drunk, started a fight with my wife, started pushing her around and everything, and she ended up having a heart attack. He didn't care. He never even went to visit her in the hospital.
Last May, I wound up having to take Jim to the hospital because Jim's stress level was just so high, we couldn't control his blood pressure.
He started yelling and screaming at me in the bed.
We had to call security and have Kyle banned from the hospital.
My parents are not own up to anything. It takes two to tango.
Because of the way Kyle behaves, I keep all my guns locked up. And they're all kept here, no bullets, because I'm afraid that if he gets his hands on them, he may use them. Or if he gets me super mad, I may use them to protect my life. But I check the safe once a week for prey marks to see if he's tried to pry the door open.
I worry for my life because you never know which direction he's going to take when he gets mad.
I'm sick and tired of my mom and my dad crying and playing the victim to everybody. It is time for the truth to be told.
Okay, now in November of last year, you were charged with assault, right?
Yeah, real quick. It's pending. I won't discuss anything that's pending right now.
Okay, well, I'll discuss it. You were charged with causing bodily injury, family violence. That's a level A misdemeanor. Confinement, 30 days in jail. Incidental investigation report. It says that 14-16 hours, dispatched to a disturbance in a parked vehicle. Female advised that the male was her adult son and that he has hit her in the upper right arm 3 times, causing pain. Male was then arrested. Upon release, parents allowed Kyle to return home. That's court's coming up March 28th, so you don't want to comment on it because it's pending, so that's okay. But that's what you called the police?
Yes.
And he hit you in the arm?
Yes.
3 times?
Yes.
And left bruises?
Yes, he did, from here to here.
In that actual report, I would like to state that it does say there are no visible marks on the victim nor the defendant.
And then in June, which was 5 months earlier, there was charge number 1, assault, and this had to do with the hammer situation, right?
He threatened me with a hammer and a knife.
Okay, this was a first-degree felony. Charge 2, he interfered with an emergency call because you tried to call 911. But the judge actually dismissed that one.
Correct.
Because he was coming here.
Yes.
The DA filed dismissal on this because I moved out of their house because it was a toxic environment, and that was dismissed before we got the okay to come on the show.
Okay, so the DA agrees that it's toxic for you to live together.
We get into a small argument and the cops are called, and they've been out probably in the past year 20 to 30 times.
Why do you keep living at home?
I didn't have a way out.
When they
It's a
moved
mess.
into a hotel, did you sell the washer and dryer and stuff out of the apartment?
When
That's not an essay question.
No. See, you're getting, I love how you're getting, did they tell you that prior to them going into the hotel, I was at my girlfriend's house and on break from work and I came out and my car was gone? That I lost my job because of that? That because he took my car, which I was paying on, but because he took my car, I couldn't go to school, and I got kicked out of school for attendance. That, well, they moved to their new house, they told me I wasn't allowed to come, and that I had to go commit myself because I wasn't right.
Is that a yes?
No.
You didn't sell the washer and dryer?
The washer and dryer that they told me that they were leaving.
What?
That they were leaving.
Was it yours?
Did they took everything else out of the house that was theirs? And
Was
left
that
it
your
just me?
washer and dryer?
No, it wasn't my washer and dryer.
Why? What gives you the right to sell it?
I don't have one. I get off at work at 1 o'clock in the morning. I don't have any charge left on my cell phone. Where am I supposed to go?
You're supposed to create a place to go. You're 31 years old. What's this picture here?
It was when I was locked out of my house.
Whose house?
It was my house. It was my address on my license. It's my residence.
That's what the police told him, that if we were to lock him out, he could use any means to get back in.
What's this shattered glass here?
That's the window.
Don't you have a key to your house?
No, I didn't even know they were leaving. I went to work and I called them for a ride home, and I got a call that they weren't even in the city.
So you broke into your house?
I let myself into my house, yes.
Does this make common sense to you?
Well, it's okay to go to work and to get off work and find out that you don't have a place to go at 1 o'clock in the morning. That's normal.
There's nothing normal about this. Seriously, there's not. There's nothing normal about the way they're treating you. Not at all. I agree. I totally agree.
I'm saying it's not normal, but that's what I have to do. It's either that or was sleep outside the dumpster by work. What am I supposed to do? I get off at work at 1 o'clock in the morning. I don't have any charge left to my cell phone. I get a text from them saying that they're not even in the city.
Why are you living there to begin with? Why don't you have a charge in your cell phone? You're 31 years old.
I didn't have any other place to go. Where am I supposed to go?
You're supposed to create a place to go. You're 31 years old. You're intelligent. You've got a degree.
And I have. I've got myself out of that situation. I'm working to build myself up.
But let's talk common sense for a minute, okay? Let's forget about your parents. They're not even here right now. Just a wall here, just you and me. Does it make common sense to live in someone's home, anybody's home, and call them names or yell at them? Because you are a guest, right? At 31, you're a guest. They have no obligation whatsoever. Nobody can call Child Protective Services and report them for not nurturing you, feeding you, clothing you, getting you medical care, or whatever. They have no obligation to you legally whatsoever. If they allow you to be there, it's just out of the goodness of their heart. And if you don't like the way they do that, then you leave. And if you say, I don't have anywhere to go, then don't you just need to say, well, then I need to get along?
Yeah, I agree with that, but if somebody's going to get along, or if a family is going, once again, a family is going to get along, there has to be a family dynamic. There has to be that relationship. This family does not have that.
Let me ask you one question. Your paycheck was for close to $1,000 a week and a half ago. You're broke. Where did the money go?
It's none of your business.
It is when he was calling us up to borrow money.
This is, oh my God, you people. Look, I'm going to bring in some reinforcements here. I need help. We'll be right back. Well, we're out of time for today, but I am nowhere near done with Kyle and his parents, Jim and Karen. In fact, I need help. So tomorrow, I am bringing my good friend John Taffer from Bar Rescue in to rescue me. Here's a sneak peek.
Next time, they claim their son terrorizes them.
Why the hell are you yelling at your mother?
That's what I grew up with.
No, you never did.
Can John Taffer
He can use fear to manipulate you.
My father chased me around the house with a loaded gun.
help rescue this family?
These are bruises on you. And where'd they come from?
My son. Or was it you pushing me out of the house?
Well, he wouldn't be pushing you out of the house if you weren't there.
That's next time.
That's tomorrow. You will not want to miss that show because let me tell you, the excuses just keep on flying. But Kyle's never seen John Taffer and I elbow to elbow, shoulder to shoulder, so he better watch out. Special thanks to all of my guests today. For more information about today's show, log on to drphil.com. We'll see you tomorrow.
On Dr. Phil, a daughter starving herself.
When I wake up, I make sure I see pretty much every bone.
She weighs a shocking 75 pounds
I'd like to drop more.
You eat how many calories a day?
Around 160.
and is determined to lose more.
What will be the victory in that?
That can be one of the best anorexics out there.
Now.
Did you take out a life insurance policy on her?
I did.
You laid down a bet that you're going to die.
Can her parents help save her?
You're doing this to spite your mother.
Yeah, she's not listening to what I have to say.
I believe she does not want to get better.
Didn't y'all take her out of the last treatment center? She was making progress, and they wanted her to stay, and y'all didn't want to spend the money? Let's do it.
Have a good show, everybody. Here we go.
This is a safe place to talk about hard things.
Stand by. We'll count you down.
Today's going to be a changing day in your life.
5, 4.
I am not giving up on you. Tell you that today Today we're doing some very, very important things. I truly believe we are dealing with a life and death situation. 23-year-old Jordan's future could very well hang in the balance because she is literally starving herself to death. She says she eats only 1 cup of cereal and a scoop of yogurt a day and rarely uses body lotion to soothe her severely dehydrated skin because she believes that it just may have calories in it. Her 5'6" frame is down to a shocking 75 pounds, which is Jordan's goal weight. But now she wants to lose even more and blames her mother for the shape she is in. Take a look.
Every morning when I wake up, I make sure I see pretty much every bone.
Every single day, I worry that my daughter Jordan is gonna die due to this eating disorder. Jordan is obsessed with having the perfect body and has literally starved herself to try to get it. Jordan's lost about 75 pounds over the last 8 months.
She's really emaciated. You can see the bones in her face and throughout her whole body.
Her eyes are sunken in, her body's sunken in. I can't stand to look at Jordan anymore. She reminds me of a shriveled up little old lady.
Usually I have to measure this 4 times. I can't even have like 1 overflowing.
Jordan never will sit down and eat with our family. When I sit with Jordan, she will put a bite of food in her mouth and she will chew that same bite like 20 minutes. Jordan has been hospitalized or rushed to the ER about 20 times in the last 2 years. On several occasions, Jordan's potassium has gotten so low that her hands will cramp up and she can't even get them open. This past November, they actually hospitalized her for 5 days to replace it. She could have died if we wouldn't have gotten her in. Jordan's health has reached a life or death situation. Her heart is enlarged. The doctors have told Jordan if she doesn't change things quickly, that she will die.
Angie was constantly concerned about Jordan.
Jordan needs to get a handle on this eating disorder. I cannot sit home with Jordan and hold her hand every day and monitor this. I have a job, I have other children and responsibilities.
I just don't think Jordan wants to get better until she makes the decision and says, hey, I'm ready. Nothing's going to change.
Well, after spending $100,000 trying to save Jordan's life, Bob says he's done because he says Jordan is a manipulative attention seeker who simply refuses to be saved.
An addiction's addiction.
I understand, but but in order to get better, you got to want to get better.
I don't think Jordan wants to get better at this moment.
She likes to be a victim. She just wants to continue to get the attention and blames everybody else.
In the last 2 years, Jordan's been to treatment 4 times.
I've spent close to $100,000 trying to help her, and then she comes back and does the same thing. We're not sending her again.
I don't trust Jordan to do outpatient treatment because she just twists it.
She gives lip service. Therapy's a waste of time.
Jordan has went through about 5 different therapists. A lot of the therapists refuse to see Jordan because she's missed so many of her appointments. Jordan likes to blame me for her eating disorder and for the times that she has relapsed.
As when I watch how she treats Angie, I just want to rip Jordan's face off.
All we try to do is help her, to love her, to support her so that she doesn't die.
I get really, really tired of her excuses. I think she needs a boot camp to work her butt off from the butt crack of dawn until dark. She needs to work so hard that she's starving and she needs something to eat. Let's put her in a deep hole and let her get her way out.
You recognize that at 75 pounds, if something doesn't change, you realize that she can and, in fact, will die.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's what we're here for.
Is that a reality to you?
Yes.
Absolutely.
You agree?
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's not being over dramatic to say this is a life or death situation.
No.
What would you do different if you had something that you could do different now? Obviously, you spent $100,000. She's been in inpatient treatment 4 times. 5 therapists have essentially fired her for non-compliance. What would you do different?
I feel like we've done everything that we can. I mean, I don't know what else to do for her. I really don't.
Well, that wasn't the question.
What would I do different?
Right.
I don't know.
Maybe the answer is nothing. I don't
mean,
know.
yeah,
I'm just asking you. But as you look back, we almost always say, could I have done something better, done something different, taken a different tact?
I mean, maybe I enable her too much.
How?
She wants this food. She wants this treatment center. I go to the grocery store with her like every day just to get certain foods that she wants so that she will eat.
But you've recognized before now that it's not working.
I have.
So why do you keep doing it?
Because she's my daughter. I don't want her to die.
Are you parenting her out of guilt? Is this coming from a guilt place?
I have for a long time, yeah.
What are you guilty about?
Well, I got divorced and her dad wasn't in her life, and I always felt like I had to overcompensate for that. I worked 2 jobs, put myself through school, wasn't there a lot. So, yeah, I think I overcompensated.
Okay. What you're telling me is what you're doing is really designed to make you feel better.
Yeah.
Not make her healthy. You feel guilty. I got a divorce, I haven't been there, and so I overcompensate because that makes me feel better. I'm making up for what I didn't do before, and so I feel like, okay, I was there for her today.
Right. That's right.
Okay, so in a sense, you've put your needs above hers. I was going to make myself feel better.
Right.
Even though it's not in her best interest.
Right.
I know it's not how you reasoned it out at the time, but in retrospect, you kind of have to see it. Is there any other way to see that?
I think as I work in mental health, and so I can see people that enable their children, and but I can see that, but then she's my daughter, so it's a little bit different.
It's hard when it's your own child.
Right.
That's why you need to talk to somebody like me.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it's easier for me to say than it is for you to do.
Right.
Totally get that.
Yeah.
Would you like some good news, by the way?
Yeah.
This is not your fault. There's a lot of research out there, and it basically says we don't know what causes this, but we do know that families don't cause it. They can activate triggers sometimes, but you said in your interviews, I've kind of always been focused on health and fitness and, looking your best and all of that. And I feel like maybe she took that and ran with it, and so I teed her up for this.
Right.
No, there's absolutely nothing to indicate that that would be the case. So that's the good news part of this for you. She chose this, not you.
Right.
I want to take a look at changes in her body in the past, because in July of 17, she weighed 152 pounds.
Right.
This was during treatment.
Yeah, right.
4 days before discharge. And in March of 18, now, she weighs 75 pounds.
Yeah.
When she was discharged, she lost 25 pounds in the first 6 weeks.
Yes.
So obviously she went immediately back to what she was doing, right?
Yes.
Then in the next 3 months, she lost 16 pounds.
Right.
And in the next 2 months, she lost 12 pounds. The next 1 month, she lost 4 pounds. But now in the last 3 weeks, she's lost 20 pounds. Actually, it's 21. She's lost 21 pounds in 3 weeks.
Right.
What has happened in the last 3 weeks? You said you think she is a manipulative liar.
Correct.
You say you're done.
I believe she does not want to help herself. She does not want to get better.
And later,
I do want to keep losing weight. I know it seems like I do it for attention.
you said you do it for attention.
Yeah, I do. I'm one of the best anorexics out there. I have been to treatment 4 times. I do really well anytime I go, but when I get home, the home environment, it's just kind of toxic. When I wasn't outpatient treatment, I was duct taping ankle weights on my own body just to show that I gained weight. In family therapy, I'll give them lip service or I'll say what they want to hear. I'd rather not bring up our issues because I'm scared of saying the wrong thing.
But now in the last 3 weeks, she's lost 20 pounds. Actually, it's 21.
Right.
What has happened in the last 3 weeks?
She covers her food. When she cooks food, she'll cover it with a napkin so we can't see it. She'll chew her food takes a bite and chews and chews and chews. Takes her 2 hours to finish a meal. But it's hard for us, because we have a life, to sit there with her and watch her eat. So I don't think she's been eating. I think she throws it away, and then she decided that she wanted to break from us, went and stayed with her dad. She lost probably 15 pounds.
In a week?
In a week.
Okay. When she went to stay with her dad? Okay. You said you think she is a manipulative liar.
Correct.
You say you're done.
I love her dearly, and I'd do anything for her, obviously, to try to help her, but I believe she does not want to help herself. She does not want to get better. We want her to get better more than she wants to get better.
But didn't y'all take her out of the last treatment center because her insurance ran out and you didn't want to spend the money?
Well, it's $32,000 a month.
Right.
We don't have that kind of money.
Well, she was up to 154 pounds.
She was. Yeah.
And here are the comments from the therapist in the discharge summary from that facility. They're saying that she, quote, benefited from the intense structure and monitoring, responded positively to motivational interviewing strategies, significant progress, becoming more transparent, progressed to an action mindset of recovery. After receiving news that their insurance would no longer cover her for residential care, parents decided to discharge her against clinical advice, stating they were unwilling to pay for continued residential care. Prognosis is guarded, giving the unwillingness of the family to continue Jordan's treatment at an appropriate level of care. So she was doing well, she was making progress, they wanted her to stay, and y'all said no.
Right. For financial reasons.
Well, and not only that, she's been 4 times.
But she was doing well here.
Understand, she does well every time she goes to a clinic. Every time she goes, she does well, and she puts on weight, and she gets healthy physically. So my frustration with a lot of these treatment centers is they cater the program around what insurance will pay. First thing they ask you when you say, hey, we got somebody we need to send to you, can you send us your insurance information? Yeah, and they get it pre-authorized and they say, okay, this insurance program lasts 45 days, so we're going to cater the program around that. They don't cater it around the patient, in my opinion. They cater it around what insurance will pay, right? So that's the first problem. The second problem, in my opinion, is they talk about, they want to send you pictures of how nice the facility is and the grounds, and they call it a campus, and they talk about, oh, look, we have the stables over there.
You think they coddle them?
Absolutely, yeah. So when I said, let's put her in a deep, dark hole and let her dig her way out, let's put her someplace where it's not fun. So she never wants to go back again. She's got to figure out for herself, hey, I don't want to do this anymore.
Did you take out a life insurance policy on her?
I did.
So you're shorting this deal.
Well, when I talked to Angie and Jordan about a life insurance policy, I said, look, I'm going to take a life insurance out on Jordan. Why? Because I need to protect your mother. I need to protect, you're headed down that path. So part of it is, for me, is I'm going to do it for a shock factor. I need to prepare Angie for Jordan passing away. And I was hoping I could shock Jordan into the reality of what she's doing to herself, because that's where she's headed, and only she can change it.
Well, she's here, so let's hear what she has to say. Jordan says she has become obsessed with the attention she gets from her mother worrying about her. I mean, that's a fair amount of insight. She actually loves hearing the doctor tell her just how grave her situation is. That's morbid. We'll meet her after the break.
I currently weigh right now 75. I want to get to 70. I start out usually by checking my ribs. I like to then go to my shoulders and make sure these bones are sticking out. Right now, I'm just wanting to say, I'm not satisfied.
And later, tell me about Anna.
It's just somebody who's critiquing me on a constant of either, hey, you did do good, you didn't eat a lot today, or hey, like, you ate way more than you should have, so you're disgusting.
Imagine having a best friend who is also your worst enemy and may be responsible for your death. Jordan says her best friend is her eating disorder. She's actually given it a name. She deals with it as though it is an entity, as though it's a person. The name is Anna. She says she can't let Anna go because she's obsessed with the attention she gets from hearing and seeing just how sick she really is.
I look in the mirror today. It's hard because, well, I feel like disgusting, I feel fat. My eating disorder, it's my identity, it's everything. I call my eating disorder Anna. She is constantly telling me what to do, how to think. She's there to tell me, like, good job for not eating anything today. Anna's my best friend. She hasn't failed me yet. When I look at pictures of myself, I always feel I look disgusting. I just see fat. I'm constantly checking my body. I love seeing the bones sticking out. I currently weigh right now 75. I want it to 70. I would say it's a competition. I've actually gone through quite a few extremes to get to my weight. If I was punishing myself for eating too much, I walked around my room. I have gone like in a circle just in this tiny room, and I have done that for 4 hours, like circling. I've gone 4 days without eating. I have still abused laxatives. In the past, I would take 30 a night. The thought of gaining weight is more scary to me than dying. I get terrified of the lotions I use. Body gel in the shower, toothpaste, because it has like calories in it. Nothing in the world I feel will ever beat the high I get from losing weight. Ever. I get a high off hearing the hospital say your vital signs are not great and your blood pressure's not good. It's like the attention I like now. I love it.
Well, Jordan says her life revolves around a secret world of daily rituals. She allowed our cameras an inside look into her private and very secret life.
Because of my anorexia, I have countless rituals. Every morning at 7 a.m., I will get on the scale, and then that goes into the body checking after. I start out usually by checking my ribs. I constantly check those. I love to see the bones. I like to then go to my shoulders and make sure these bones is sticking out. There's also an indent I like to see. And I get my hip bones and make sure these are sticking out. My spine, I will make sure I can see every bone, which I constantly feel. And then it goes down to my thighs. I cup them and I make sure like even I have some room. Right now I'm just wanting to say I'm not satisfied. Usually I have to measure this 4 times. I have been on a very strict diet the past 3 months. Right now, I'm feeling confident in this one. I lately have been letting myself have a cup of rice Chex and half a cup of yogurt. The solid food I take in for a day. My stomach's like...
I know, I can hear it.
Ugh. It's just milk with magnesia. Use this little cup, and I would take 4 of these. I punished myself for eating too much. I stopped taking the laxative pills 3 months ago. Now I take milk of magnesia. That's just another way to get rid of calories in my mind. But I don't want to do this anymore.
Okay, Jordan, good to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
You've been listening to everything so far.
I have, yeah.
You eat how many calories a day?
Probably around 160.
160. And the recommended daily allowance for somebody your height and weight is between 2,000 and 2,400.
Yeah.
So you're coming in a little low on that.
Yeah, yeah.
What's your goal? Why are you doing this? What's your ultimate goal?
My ultimate goal is recovery. I think that, you know, I do find a high from it, and I would never deny what I really love about it. But in the end, I don't want to die. It's terrifying.
But isn't that your ultimate victory? I mean, that's the ultimate attention, right?
And it is. That's the ultimate thing that has to happen for the weight I want to get down to. But I don't have a death wish. I do want to keep losing weight, and that's the frustrating part, because I know it seems like I do it for attention, which is the main part, but in the end...
Well, no, you said you do it for attention.
And I do, yeah.
So it doesn't seem like you're doing it for attention. You say you're doing it for attention.
Yeah, and I do, but in the end, I don't want to die. Like, I do want to be 75 pounds, 70 pounds, but I don't want to die. And I can't have the best of both worlds.
Why 75 instead of 62 or 81? Why did you choose this particular goal?
Right now, because that's the lowest I've ever gotten. And so it was kind of just to see if I could get back to that weight. And now that I have, now I'd like to drop more. I can get lower now.
Mm-hmm. And what will be the victory in that?
Show how disciplined I can be and how I'm one of the best anorexics out there.
You say you like the shock factor from people. You like people to see you and go, oh.
Yeah. The more severe it's gotten, the more I have really enjoyed, like, wow, she looks like a skeleton.
Dying is the ultimate shock factor, right? Yeah. I mean, that'll get lots of attention. They'll have a funeral. Well, I mean, you won't be here for it, but I mean,
that's the end.
That's the end goal, right? That would also really shove it in your mother's face, wouldn't it?
I mean, it would, yeah.
That's what you want, is to hurt her, correct?
It's more like a spite thing. You've been anorexic 10 years, so you should have it down by now. You have the skills. You've gone to 4 treatment centers, so we're not helping you this time. And so my spite is, look how bad it's gotten. She's not listening to her own child and listening to her husband.
Do you ever think about how I feel?
She's listening to him instead of you, and so you're just going to turn the volume up.
I mean, not in the past, but yeah, the past relapse, yeah, actually.
By the way, you're drinking 4 cups of milk of magnesia a night?
Correct, yeah.
You don't work?
No.
Where do you get the money for that?
I've had money here and there. I'm not a big spender. I've actually had a paycheck from October that I've still had money from. And then, I mean, occasionally she'll give me some money, my dad.
And do you know she's doing that?
I didn't know, but like recently, yeah, I guess that's probably what she was doing. Mm-hmm.
You say as of December you were taking 50 laxatives a night, and then you're doing 4 cups of this milk of magnesia. Mm-hmm. So you're getting all this stuff somewhere.
Yeah, so I would really just go to the store and
you've got the money to do that.
Yeah, thus far.
So tell me again what it is you're wanting to get even with her for.
I just find my head can't grasp the fact that they always tell me, you've had this for 10 years, how do you not do better? You have the skills. Like, we've sent
Well, you keep saying they. I'm just asking about your mother. I mean, we can talk about him separately.
Okay,
Let's talk about your mother.
More along the lines of she's not listening to her own child and listening to her husband and not really listening to what I have to say and to how I feel, instead just listening to somebody who completely disagrees with me.
Do you ever think about how I feel?
Yeah.
I don't think
Well,
so.
she just told you she did. She wants you to feel pain.
Right. And I do.
I mean, that's the dynamic here. So this is a tug of war. She's listening to him instead of you, and so you're just going to turn the volume up.
Yeah. I mean, not in the past, but yeah, the past relapse, yeah, actually.
So I asked you about your mother, so what do you think about old Bob here? I mean, let's just be honest. I mean, hell, we're kind of down to it now. I mean, you may not be here this time next month, so you might as well spit it out.
Nothing left to lose. Honestly, I think that when we first kind of got in our relationship, when they first got married, yeah, I thought he cared. Now do I know?
Well, he's betting you are going to die. He bought insurance that you're going to die. He laid down a bet that you're going to die.
Yeah, and I don't know how I feel about you pulling out insurance either. I mean, if you're thinking I'm that close, what's there to lose to send me somewhere? Like, why get the insurance?
You know, Angie and I were gone the weekend you went to your father's. We're going to stay 3 days and ended up staying over a week. We had talked about when we get home, we're going to take you to the hospital. And we're going to ask them to put an NG tube down your throat and force feed you and refeed you until you start getting some weight back on yourself. And then after we get through that process, we'll figure out what to do with you after that, depending on what you want to do. That was the plan we had, and then we got a call from the Dr. Phil show, and that's why we're here. That's how fast it happened to get here. So we do care.
And I guarantee you, Jordan, that your potassium is down again. There's no way it's not.
Well, we're going to take a break. Jordan claims her mother is so controlling that she threatens to drop Jordan off at a homeless shelter if she loses even 1 more pound. Jordan says her mother's need to dictate her every move is a huge trigger for her. Well, I'm going to make both of them happy about that when we come back.
I'm not ever allowed to be an adult. It is control central. I've been told you lose like another pound and you can say goodbye to your phone or my car.
Jordan's accusations are insane.
I hold on to my anorexia because that is one thing my mom and my stepdad cannot take. They don't have control of my body. I get to control what goes in me, what I do with my body. I do this despite my mom. She's so mad that it's all anger now. She has no sympathy.
Well, Jordan admits a big reason she hasn't overcome her eating disorder is to punish her mother, Angela. Jordan says that her mother was awarded guardianship of her, but she says it's not to keep her alive, it's just to keep her under her mother's thumb.
I absolutely despise my mom having guardianship. I'm not ever allowed to be an adult.
As her mom, I have no other choice for her own good.
Heart's palpitating 140 beats a minute, or horrible blood pressure, her hands are freezing cold, her feet are freezing cold, and we're not sure if she's going to live through the night. So the guardianship's probably saved her life a few times.
I feel like I'm in prison here and I'm not allowed to make my own choices, and it is control central. I've been told you lose like another pound and you can say goodbye to your phone. Do more and you're getting your TV taken, my car, and then they threaten to take my door off of its hinges, and you're punishing me for this mental illness I have.
Jordan's accusations are insane, and Jordan doesn't think clearly when she's not eating. She can't really tell me specifics on how I control her or ways that we aren't fair with her.
My mom is one of my main triggers, and I don't think she understands that. And we argue often. One night we were arguing, and the last thing she said was, "You're dead to me." I don't know how that's something a mom could say to her daughter. It's hurtful. I absolutely hate the control they have over it, and that's one of the main reasons my anorexia is stuck around.
She's not healthy enough to control herself and to take care of herself. It's all a big mess.
You know, before you defend any of that, Jordan says her mother is not her friend, but that she does have a best friend, Anna, who has never let her down. But tell me about Anna.
Yeah, I didn't, for a long while there, think anything of my eating disorder being another being, and it's not like I'm crazy, but that is, you start to get this image in your mind of what this person looks like to you and how controlling they are. And so, yeah, I've called my other identity Anna, and it's just somebody who's critiquing me on a constant of either, hey, you did do good, you didn't eat a lot today, or hey, like, you ate way more than you should have, so you're disgusting. And
what does she look like?
she is very frail, very, very frail, blonde, long hair, pretty in my ways of seeing it, but just super controlling.
What's her goal for you?
To lose weight, to keep continuing down and restricting.
So she doesn't care whether you go into organ shutdown, coma, and die.
Yeah, I would say so.
This is your best friend.
Yeah. Our main goal is to lose weight, and so you just don't think about everything else.
So you're doing this to spite your mother.
Yeah, I think that's half the problem, yeah. I mean,
because when you're in the hospital on tubes, your mom's going to be going to dinner. I mean, she's going to be going to a movie. You're the one that's going to be in a vegetative state because your brain doesn't have what it needs to function. And then they're going to be pumping you full of fluid. You're going to be all bloated.
Yeah, and that does happen.
Just how much is mom controlling her daughter's deadly disorder? She might be doing some things that fuel this that she's not even aware of. We'll be right back.
Jordan and I have hit rock bottom.
My mom has called me disgusting and unattractive.
Jordan's threatened to hit me, actually pushed me before. I wonder if we're at the point where there's no redemption.
Well, Jordan says along with depriving herself of food and nutrients comes manipulation, secrets, and lies. Now, her mother, Angela, says Jordan's behavior can be extremely abusive, and it has torn their once close relationship apart.
This eating disorder has completely ruined my relationship with my mom.
Jordan and I have hit rock bottom, and it's become toxic.
She is very mentally and verbally abusive to me. My mom has called me disgusting and unattractive. You are ugly. Nobody's gonna want to put up with this. My mom has made me feel unwanted. I want to say, don't be so selfish right now and see where I'm coming from. I'm not trying to ruin your life or have you take care of your grown-up child the rest of your life.
I'm pretty angry right now because I really hate the way that she treats me. Jordan's called me a bitch, threatened to hit me, actually pushed me before. Jordan has told me that I don't have a carrying bone in my body and what a horrible mother I am. That's a huge insult. My kids are my everything.
My mom works in mental health, but my mom says, you've had this 10 years. You've gone to some of the best treatment centers. How are you not better? Like, I wish I could tell you.
Things have been so bad that I wonder if we're at the point where there's no redemption. She wants to blame me for where she's at, which is, until she takes responsibility for where she's at, she's not going to get better. And, you know, we have done so much for her, and it really hurts my feelings that it's just weird that she says that.
The two of you don't get along. There's tension and friction, and she's telling you, I'm doing this to thumb my nose at my mother. And I take her at face value at that. I mean, I have no reason not to believe her.
Yeah, I'm sure.
She says she does it for attention, she does it for shock value, and she does it to spite you. Is there any reason to not believe what she's saying?
No.
Are you lying about that?
No.
Her currency is to be unhealthy. Her currency is to be emaciated. Her currency is to be so shockingly thin that people go, oh my God, she's sick.
Right.
And she says she does it because it pisses you off. And there's not a damn thing you can do about it because it is the ultimate control. When we are born as babies, there are two things we can control: what we take in and what we put out.
Yeah.
And when we do it. That's why potty training is such a pivotal element in people's lives, because that's the ultimate control that the child is giving up, is they can control when they do and when they don't. Yeah. And when you have someone that has not evolved emotionally, developmentally, they revert back to those things.
Right.
So what's she doing? She's controlling what she takes in, and she's eating 50 laxatives and 4 cups of milk and magnesia a night. It's back to what I take in and what I put out. That's what she's controlling.
Right.
Pretty fundamental, don't you think?
Yeah.
That's her weapon, and it's to piss you off. Get attention and shock people. Now, I suspect nobody's broken it down quite that crudely to you before, but
No.
is there any other way to see this? If there is, let's add it to the list.
I don't know if you have anything.
No, I think he's spot on.
It's the ultimate manipulation.
Yeah.
And you agree.
Selfishness.
Oh, yeah, I
You don't
agree.
disagree. You
No,
agree.
I
You're
agree.
using this to manipulate, right?
I absolutely agree.
You're poking the bear.
Oh, yeah.
What do you need to do to change the trajectory of this disease? Would you like to know?
Yeah.
Because I have some very specific things I want to tell you. Now, Jordan believes that her stepfather, Bob, not only hates her, but is the mastermind behind her mother's every move. She thinks that he is controlling this whole thing and that Mom has just become his puppet. And that this is a big tug of war here, and she's pulling out all of the weapons to try to win the war. I got some things to say about that, too. We'll be right back. We are out of time for today, but here's a sneak peek at tomorrow's show.
Next time, she's anorexic.
She wants to blame me for where she's at.
I wish you knew the battle that was going on inside me.
I think she is on the brink of organ shutdown.
And everyone is playing the blame game.
She says she does it for attention. She does it for shock value because it pisses you off.
Plus, kidnapping survivor Michelle Knight is back
I got really good news for you. I'm married.
with exclusive new details.
Have you shared with your husband what you went through?
That's next time.
You do not want to miss that. Tomorrow, Jordan reveals how she believes her stepfather has turned her own mother against her. Plus, find out why Jordan's family despises the boyfriend she has turned to for support. And the shocking details about why Bob and Angela want this young man far away from their daughter. They're actually going to meet him for the first time right here on this stage. Finally, learn why Angela fears she may have unwittingly led her daughter down this dark and deadly path. All of that tomorrow. I want to thank all of my guests today. If you or someone you know is dealing with an issue you would like to speak to me about, log on to drphil.com. You can tell me your story. You can also find me on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. We'll see you next time. Thanks.
Everybody move over. Oh, there's stuff over here. I mean, a lot of people do love cheese, though, Mill. I feel like you're one of those people. I love cheese. I don't think it's because I'm Italian, because I like lots of cheese. I like lots and lots of cheese. I like all cheese. Feed me the cheese. You know what? I'm just going to cover this pan. Now you have to be careful. That getting old thing, cheese and cholesterol and all the and lactose and all the things. We're getting old, Mel. All right. It's oh, you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to take a picture of the blue cheese biscuit recipe. So let me find it. I'll be right back. miss me? Let's see. We have a lot to do today. I'm also going to be learning how to segment oranges, so I hope you're ready. Go away. Everybody okay over there? Blue cheese biscuits. It's love. Now, I don't have any more buttermilk, but we're going to use a little sour cream and a little milk, and we're going to make it fine. Calls, shockingly, for a good amount of flour. I'm going to put this back in the fridge, and we're going to get a fresh one. We're going to get a fresh one. All right. And I'm going to do, what I'm going to do is I'm going to, all right, I took pictures of this, right? No. Boop. Boop. Go away. All right, let's go. My iPad is acting up again. No, save. Save to photos. Go away. Hi, Rob. How are you today? We're a little bit of a wackadoodle mess today. How are you? Well, if I don't need to make this right now, I'm going to put this butter back, and we're going to get the... the fridge is so full. Notes of poems. Holy shit! It did. Did you buy it? You are good. I'm glad to hear. Did you buy it? Are you playing? I got the email from Steam and I took a screenshot of it and I was like, I almost sent it to you. I was like, this is a pointless message. Of all of my pointless messages, that was like the pointless of pointlessest messages. The moment I saw that game, I thought, really? Rob's the reason I played it. Oh, I see what you mean. Yes, I understand. My brain understands what you were saying now. I'm good at braining and reading and thinking. All right, I've made a mess already. We've already started. Mom, are you still here? I'm gonna buy it, but not yet. I have so many games. Plus, I just got a free game. Somebody gave me Against the Storm. They had in a Humble Bundle. They were like, "You have it on your wish list. Do you just want it?" And I was like, "Yes, please." So I have to play some of the other games that I have to, especially because like I'm trying to save money for England. So no buying the new Citizen Sleeper yet. Okay. Oh, I need to get the cookbook out. I'm gonna turn this off. We're not gonna make the I'm gonna put the blue cheese away too, honestly. Chill out, homies. Alright, so we're going to make our when she's gone, citrus flan out of our new Martha Stewart fruit desserts cookbook. So we're gonna turn the oven on. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. Yeah, it definitely earns a Q drop. I assume you'll be playing it on your own? I would love to see. Although I can't. I just realized I can't watch you play it. This is the worst part about starting to play more games. I can't watch. I like watched your playthrough of Neva, but didn't. I can't watch. I barely watched. I like didn't really watch Sibby's playthrough of Gree. I can't watch his playthrough of Neva. I don't like this part of being a gamer. I don't like it at all. Oh, I need the kettle. I always understood, but like now I understand. You're not allowed to play it on stream because I don't want to have to miss it. We'll just talk about it later when I do play it. Sunshine when she's gone. Sunshine when she's gone. There ain't no home. Any issues if I use PayPal? Oh, you have to would use my I mean, I do a lot of that as well. Micah, Atherma, you can use my regular PayPal. I have to. The problem with my PayPal that's on my page is that I set it up with the exact same bank account as my personal PayPal, and they closed it. They were like, you can't do this, but without like giving me any real explanation. I just kind of figured it out on my own. And I tried months ago to call them and fix it. And they're like, oh yeah, we're going to escalate this. I see what you, blah, blah, blah. And then nothing ever changed. And then I just never did anything about it. So if you want to just do my regular PayPal. I mean, I'll give you the email address for that. I do a lot of that too, Micah. Don't get me wrong, but now it's all right. We need half a cup of sugar and 3 tablespoons of water. I really am gonna have to get one of those like stands to hold books up. All right. I have a good amount of that myself. Like I have seen Outer Wilds be played start to finish multiple times. Same with Hollow Knight. I think I would still have plenty of new things if I watched that game. If I played that game. I know a few people who would be mad at me for it either way, but you know. All right. We are making our caramel for, this doesn't need to be on the scale. I don't know why it is. Same with Hades. I've watched a lot of it. Hi, Paunchy Punch. How are you today? Let's go back in there. I want to see something. All right, this is going to fit. So we're going to put this in here. So